In Colombia, search and rescue continuing for signs of life following Monday's powerful earthquake. Officials say 273 people are now confirmed dead. More than 370 are reported missing. Millions across the Midwest remain under flood alerts today. Communities east of Indianapolis inundated after severe storms swept through. Torrential rain and straight-line winds making cleanup a challenge. Indiana Governor Mike Brehm was in the southern part of the state, saying he approved a statewide emergency disaster declaration.
We've got the National Guard involved up in the northwest because of all the debris, trees down everywhere. Here, there'll be a Black Hawk helicopter. Stay on call because sadly the forecast says we could get 2 to 4 more inches down here.
In the Central Pacific, Tropical Storm Lala has formed. A hurricane watch posted for Hawaii's Big Island. You're listening to ABC News.
Minnesota's trusted voice. Every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Cloudy, 78 degrees at 2:03. I'm Laura Oakes. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison and Ramsey County Attorney John Choi will go before a judge next week in their effort to keep rival gangs from gathering at this year's Minnesota State Fair. 2 preliminary hearings were held in Ramsey County District Court today. Ellison says the state needed to take action following a social media post where alleged gang members referenced the biggest battle of the summer at the fair on August 29th.
We want to keep everybody safe and healthy. And quite frankly, I'd like these guys to wake up before they destroy their future, because that's what they're heading towards if they don't change.
The 2 gangs have been linked to previous fights that have spilled into neighborhoods surrounding the fairgrounds, as well as shootings connected to recent graduation ceremonies at Grand Casino Arena in St. Paul and Burnsville High School. St. Paul Mayor Cully Herr presenting her 2027 budget proposal today amid public scrutiny over an ongoing homelessness crisis and a review of her leadership.
The mayor's budget trims police numbers to 605 officers and introduces a property tax levy increase.
We were able to limit property tax levy increase to 6.8%, a meaningful reduction from the more than 12% increase we otherwise would have faced.
She also doubled down on plans to close homeless encampments throughout the city, but she urged state and federal partners to share in the financial responsibility.
It forced every level of government and service providers to confront the reality that this challenge has outgrown the capacity of any one local government to solve alone.
Police Chief Axel Henry attended the address and applauded, raising questions about his relationship with the mayor following his recent sexual harassment complaint that is still under review. Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830 WCCO.
St. Paul police arrest a 37-year-old St. Paul man suspected in the assault of a man who died at downtown's Dorothy Day homeless shelter earlier this month. Isaiah Wilson died 3 days after being struck in the head on August 3rd. The suspect is facing murder and manslaughter charges. Minneapolis police investigating a rash of smashed car windows in the North Loop and downtown neighborhoods. No word of any arrests there or how many cars were damaged. Blue Earth County elections officials say an error caused 17,000 test ballots to be included in their initial primary election results on Tuesday night. Administrators say, though, they quickly noticed the large amount of data was uploaded to the Secretary of State's website and the issue was quickly resolved. And some good news, a key piece to the Minnesota Twins lineup returns tonight.
The team announcing today that center fielder Byron Buxton has been reinstated from the 10-day injured list as the 27th man for tonight's Field of Dreams game in Dyersville, Iowa against Philadelphia. Buck has been out since July 29th with a right hip impingement. On the season, Buxton is hitting .263 with 25 homers and 45 RBI. Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
And WCCO News Time is 3:05.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Commute's looking pretty good to start things off this afternoon. For you to be traveling East 94, not too bad of a run right now, right through St. Paul, heading up toward the Wisconsin border. West 94, some slowing and move between Riverside and downtown Minneapolis into the Lowry Hill Tunnel. North 169, free flowing 394 to 694. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Launchpad Golf the Meadows in Prior Lake is your family and friends hangout. Chef-driven menu, in-range shot tracking tech, and golf every weekday with the Summer Players Card for one payment of just $199. Book your suite tonight at launchpadgolf.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Launchpad Golf. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Another warm summer night as we fall back to 70. The clouds will increase. We could see some isolated showers overnight, closer to morning. Mostly cloudy for the rest of the day, 85 the afternoon high. Still a bit humid. Clouds are going to increase on Friday, a high of 83. Any rain should hold off until late and spill into Saturday.
Cloudy right now, 78 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Minnesota's meeting spot to hear what's going on. News Talk 830 WCCO. You're thinking about it. Jason's talking about it. There are no breaks on bold takes here. Buckle up. This is Drive Time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Now, live from Minnesota's biggest microphone, here's Jason DeRusha.
Are you embarrassed to be from Minnesota? I'm not embarrassed, but I am sick of having to explain what the heck is going on here. It's Drive Time. Jason with you, Dan here, Laura Oakes, bringing you up to date on the news as well. Michele Tafoya has done a couple of interviews where she has said that it's embarrassing to be from Minnesota. And we can get into a conversation at 651-461-9226 if this is a good political strategy. I have my doubts. But in no way am I embarrassed to be from Minnesota. Here's what Michele Tafoya said in an interview, trying to make the argument that she's going to turn it around so you guys don't have to apologize for being from here anymore.
Minnesotans are exhausted, and John, quite frankly, they're embarrassed. Yeah. I have talked to hundreds of voters in Minnesota who have told me, gosh, I went on vacation this summer. I didn't want to tell people where I was from because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And it's true.
Is it? 651-461-9226. We have a practice today of making everything so personal. And when I heard this interview, and she repeated this sort of commentary, she said this a number of times before. This isn't just one interview being taken out of context. But I don't know, man, like, because there's screwed up stuff that's been happening in this state doesn't make me want to say I'm from Iowa. Why? I guess I don't get the logic. I don't get the logic. And is your life so politically focused that, like, you're on vacation in Boston or LA or Washington, D.C., and you're like hanging out at a bar or at a national park, and someone's like, where are you from? Oof. I don't want to say. Is that real? I don't know. To me, I could never imagine. I'm proud to be from Minnesota. That doesn't waver based on who's in political office, what scandal is going on right here. No, absolutely not. 651-461-9226. Commenters online on our Facebook page where we're streaming and on YouTube. Are you embarrassed to be from Minnesota? Ann Nordby says no. Neil says, I'm proud that I live in Minnesota. Bill is in Inver Grove Heights. Bill, are you embarrassed to be from Minnesota?
No, I'm born and raised in Minnesota, and I've lived in 3 other states, including Illinois and Texas and Florida, and I'm always proud to have been from Minnesota, still proud. And I think for somebody who's not originally from Minnesota, who moved here, who's a transplant, which is frankly one thing, can we ever really trust the transplants?
Hey, wait a minute.
Come on.
Bill, I've
only...
only...
not born.
That's true. I mean, how many years do I need to get to? Is 25 enough where I'll be legit, or will I always be a carpetbagger?
I think your radio predecessor's dad, half of his lifetime, half of the Sid Hartman lifetime, and then you can claim it. That's what I think.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, that's what I think. No, I just, and to run around, and I know there's a lot of people on social media who tell everybody they're, not happy to be from Minnesota. They have to
Can't wait to move. Can't wait to get out of this state.
Right. I went to Disney World and I wore my Rebel Star Wars Minnesota loon shirt, and I had probably about 20 people that told me right on, man, and they liked the shirt. And I'm not happy about the fraud. I'm certainly not. I don't think it's great.
Same,
but
yeah.
I'm that doesn't make me less. At least I'm from a state where we still try to help people, right? We are from a state where we made a mistake, but we also didn't, we had a federal government that sent people here and killed 2 people. So I just think, I think that's the wrong political strategy. And if you're going to crap on your state, you're just not going to get people out to vote for you.
Yeah, I sort of feel that way too. Thanks, Bill. Beth is on a phone at 651-461-9226. Beth, are you embarrassed to be from Minnesota?
I am not.
Yeah. Do you get where Michele Tafoya is coming from? Because I do get where she's coming from, but it still rubs me the wrong way,
Well, I get where she's coming from because I believe perhaps she's thinking that that's how her usual constituency feels. But if she wants to more broadly appeal to, more centrist people so she can get herself elected, I think it's the wrong message. And one of the reasons I think that way is my adult daughter went to France in June. My brother, who will remain nameless but is a retired high-ranking member of the Minnesota National Guard, told my daughter, he said, don't tell people you're from the United States, tell people you're from Minnesota. And that's what they both did. He was in Norway, she was in France. And, no, Minnesota is not a dirty word. And one of my good friends in Dallas is so proud to say she's a Minnesotan. So I think as a political strategy, maybe it would work for running for governor, but I don't think it's going to work for her.
Thanks, Beth. Appreciate that. It is an interesting question, right? This idea, and I get where people are coming from, right? So I'm not bringing this up to blast Michele Tafoya, because I think this sort of messaging I've been hearing a lot about, and it does make me think, look, as situations change, as different things go on, it's understandable that your level of satisfaction with where you live ebbs and flows. I get that. I just the people who are like, I can't wait to get out of here, which frankly, and I'm sure we'll see this probably now deleted post on Twitter back in the ads against Michele Tafoya. But Tafoya had posted before that she first chance she gets, she's going to move out of here, or she's exploring moving out of here. If I remember right, I recall seeing some sort of social media post like that. And look, you're allowed to have some frustration. You're allowed to have hyperbole. To me, that's not oh, we're done with you. I this conversation has no bearing on how I feel about this Senate race and how I'm going to vote. I don't know how I'm going to vote. I'm looking forward to the campaign with these two, with Peggy Flanagan and Michele Tafoya. But to me, I'm proud to be from Minnesota. And if someone's going to ask, I don't know, doesn't this say more about the kind of people you surround yourself with? And you kind of get around, you're griping about I hate this state. Well, you can get away with that for a little bit, but I would like to vote for people who love this state. Deb's in Owatonna. Deb, embarrassed to be from Minnesota? I get where Michele Tafoya is coming from. I reject that way of framing it.
Am I on?
You're on, Deb. Go for it.
Oh, okay. Yes, a very good question. I think that Michele Tafoya has talked to a number of people, and they have told her
that's how they feel.
Yeah, I believe that.
Doesn't mean she feels that way. She's running because she loves the state. She's lived here for a long time. She's always been very positive about Minnesota. Does not mean that's how she feels. She wants to fix that so people do feel some sense. These people, I'm not saying everybody,
Sure,
like you, the commentator, are saying, you're proud. I grew up here. But I will say I do live now in Florida. And whenever I mention where I've been from, where I grew up, people kind of laugh.
Yeah.
Now, how do you feel about that? I feel embarrassed. That's when you feel embarrassed. It's like, come on, there's some beauty in this state. There's many people, wonderful people, great lakes, great territory. But it's the government. It's the why is Governor Walz not running again? Just ask yourself that question.
Yeah, I think we know why he's not running again, right? Thanks, Deb. Danny in Maple Grove. I mean, he's not running again because there's no way he was going to win. He was going to bring down the Democratic ticket because of the constant questions and legitimate questions about fraud. Danny, are you embarrassed to tell people you're from Minnesota?
Well, first of all, I was in Minnesota for 60 years. We went to Florida for 20 years, and now we're back here in Minnesota because it's such a great place to live. But I am embarrassed about being from Minnesota and having Michele Tafoya be selected as a candidate to run for Senate when she is a person who has absolutely no bona fides. She has never done public service. She's never served on the committee. She has nothing to offer the people of Minnesota who are willing to sacrifice to live here because it's a great place. So I'm embarrassed that they would have selected her to be a candidate.
Thanks, Danny. I don't think you need to have done the gig before to be a good candidate. I don't. I think it's about leadership. It's about vision. It's about getting people to support you in the electorate. It's about getting people to work with you at the Senate. Like, to me, does your past record help? Yes. But it's not a deal breaker for me. 651-461-9226. Lots of texts coming in. We'll share more of your texts, more of your calls. Are you embarrassed to be from Minnesota? I'm not. And I wish we didn't wrap everything in our politics. Drive time back in just a minute.
Drive time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
At Wealth Enhancement, we believe wealth is in the details. Our team of trusted advisors craft personalized solutions to help you achieve your financial goals. Tune in to the Your Money Show on News Talk 830 WCCO every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. or go to wealthenhancement.com to connect with one of our advisors.
So when do you need to start thinking about a will? Find out at gutmanlaw.com. What is a living trust, and do you need this? Find out at gutmanlaw.com. What about a power of attorney or probate? We'll get all the answers to your questions when you schedule a free attorney consultation at, gutmanlaw.com. It's Jordana. And I didn't know the first thing about wills, living trusts, estate planning, but I didn't need to. All I did was reach out to my friend Matt Gutman and his partner Jamie Reff Wagner. This is their focus: wills, trust, probate, estate plans. Now knowing that my loved ones will be taken care of no matter what helps me sleep at night. Don't wait until it's too late to get these things taken care of. You can schedule a free, no-hassle consultation right on the website. Say it with me, gutmanlaw.com. Gutmanlaw.com, giving you peace of mind today for tomorrow. It's not just a slogan. I sleep better at night now that I have my estate plan in place. Thanks to Matt Gutman and Jamie.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who who get it done.
Hey, it's Brew, and I feel like everything in my life depends on being connected. Whether I'm uploading a video, hopping on a call before my show, or video chatting with my family back in Michigan, I never have to think about my Wi-Fi. And that's why Xfinity stands out. You get the most reliable, fiber-powered Wi-Fi with the best equipment at one price for 5 years guaranteed. No contracts or commitments. Plus, you can get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber or coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity, imagine that.
Let's make this summer your best summer ever. Jason here for Luther Kia of Bloomington, and Luther Kia Bloomington wants to upgrade your ride. Outstanding prices. $399 a month sign and drive lease offers on Seltos, Sportage, Nero, and K5. Get out of here. Plus $750 owner loyalty cash on the stunning Kia Telluride and the Telluride Hybrid. Best cars for the money on the market. Check out their brand new facility, now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
Steering you through what matters. Drive time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington.
Are you embarrassed to be from Minnesota? Texter really perfectly encapsulated how I feel about this. Michele Tafoya, in an interview, said that she's been talking to a lot of people who are saying it's embarrassing when you go on vacation and someone says where you're from to admit that you're from Minnesota. Texter says, I'm not embarrassed, but I have to admit I've had to defend it several times. I think that's fair. I have had to. You get this sort of like, what's going on there? That's that kind of question. Texter's proud, not at all embarrassed to be from Minnesota, however, embarrassed for the city of Minneapolis and its leadership. Another texter saying, considering the dumb questions people outside of Minnesota have asked me about the state, they are the ones I'm embarrassed for. Texter says, Minneapolis is the embarrassment. My friends up north would love to separate from the Twin Cities. I hear that attitude a lot around the state. It makes me sad. Makes me sad. I know we've always had this sort of little bit of separation between greater Minnesota, where they would call us the Cityots, and people in greater Minnesota love to play the victim by talking about one time that Tim Walz said it's rocks and cows country. It's not productive to me. I love every area of this state. I wouldn't want, part of the magic of Minneapolis and St. Paul is that you're a close drive to the country, the rural parts of this state. You're close to the range. You're close to the bluffs. You're close to Red Wing. Like, all that stuff is cool.
Wonder what those folks would think when they saw their new property tax bill after the resources of southern portions of Minnesota were denied to them.
I think it's more, don't you think it's more just a fact that people feel, I guess I can't tell if it's people feel disrespected by the city people. Because the city people, I think, for years, I would say, man, people in the cities look down on the greater Minnesota people as like somehow they're dumber or something like that, more it's country bumpkins. I don't know. Like these days, I definitely feel more of the frustration coming from rural Minnesota. Remember the one Minnesota bit from Governor Walz? Would have been nice. Maybe it was just a pipe dream even back then. Ken is in Crosby, 651-461-9226. Ken, are you embarrassed to be from Minnesota?
Well, I'll give you my true experience. I grew up as a farm boy in the little town of Milroy, Walnut Grove, and when I graduated from high school, I went to Mankato for 4 years, and then I spent 35 years in Bloomington, and now the last 20 in Crosby. And we winter in Florida, Sandra, my wife and I. And when all I have down in Florida, all I had was Minnesota T-shirts, every color and everything. And that's what I would wear, whether I went to the grocery store or anything. And I would always be, oh, you're from Minnesota. Or where are you from in Minnesota? So we'd always have a really good conversation. And then all of a sudden, after last year, the 2 years, I'm wearing my Minnesota shirt. And instead of saying, oh, where are you from? They're saying, are you from Minnesota? That was exactly the classic phrase that I'm getting.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I'm not wearing my Minnesota shirts anymore.
Oh, yeah. It is, I think a lot of this has to do with who you surround yourself with. And we're getting a lot of texters saying, oh, when I go to Florida, everyone's ba, 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 ba. Well,
right.
Yeah, of course. You left Minnesota to go to a no income tax state where it's very conservative, probably in the spots that people are going. I bet it's a big Fox News crowd. And yes, Minnesota, for some ways very well deserved, has been mocked in the national media. So I get that, but I also do think it very much has to do with who we surround ourselves with, right? Like the callers who called in and said, oh, I'm getting applauded for wearing my Minnesota. Sure, if you go to more liberal areas, they're probably like, hey, Minnesota, you guys stood up to ICE. Pretty cool.
Yeah, but it's unfortunate. There's really only one word that distinguishes us now, and the word is fraud. I mean, if you could eliminate the word fraud, and that's the one that's where we got our label on our forehead now.
Right.
Do you think
that's
so
fair?
bad.
I mean, when you think about Florida, for example, I mean, for years and years, the mockery would be about like the way that Florida would show up in the news. And if you want to find fraud, I think you can find it in Florida. I'm not saying I'm not trying to downplay our fraud. We got our problems, but it is interesting how we've become, well, it's not all that interesting. The president made us the poster child for this. So that's sort of how it went.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
It's a dynamic. I wish it would go away as quickly as it came, though. It came on really fairly quickly. It's not going away quite as quick.
That's an excellent point, Ken. Thank you. John, you're on CCO. Embarrassed or not?
Not at all. I moved over to New Richmond to be close to family a few years ago, but I'm very proud of where I'm from. But something you mentioned in the last segment, I kind of wanted to touch on. So you said that you want a candidate who has a vision and things like that. I want a candidate who will listen. Where did the shame? Why is there shame in saying I don't have all the answers, but I want to listen to your problems and try and solve them? Everyone comes in with, I'm going to do A, B, C, and D. Have you actually listened to anybody that you represent?
Boy, that's such a good point. That's such a good point, John, because we've gotten into this sort of crazy world where candidates now are going to release here's my 27-point plan on this. Now, I want you to have some ideas, but I feel what you're saying. Like, I want people running from office who can hear us and listen to us as well. I think that's part of the frustration people are having, right? That we don't feel like our voice is being listened to.
Sure, it's honest and human too. If you truly believe that you're going to elect somebody that knows everything and knows how to solve every problem, you're kidding yourself. I'd rather have somebody who's approachable and I can talk to. Granted, I don't think I'm going to walk in and have an audience with a U.S. senator whenever I want to, but there are some representatives where this station has tried to get a hold of dozens of times and they can't. I would love if someone was approachable and accountable for their decisions.
Good call. Thanks, John. Appreciate you. Thanks for listening and for calling in. Jason, I've lived in Minnesota for nearly 60 years. We do not look down on our state. What we do have to do is defend ourselves for being a city and for spending on bike lanes. The Minneapolis kind of conversation. Minneapolis funds 66% of the state's resources. It is true. We've tried to talk about that. I don't know that is a winning argument, though. We fund you. I don't know how to change minds on this one, to be honest. I wish I had. The only thing I think that sort of changes people's minds is getting them to come here, see the lakes, see the theater, go to a Twins game, like that kind of stuff, But it's tough. Good calls, great texts. It's an interesting scenario, right? And I'm not blasting Michele Tafoya on this because I think she is tapping into a real frustration that people have out there. My message is do not be embarrassed to be from this state. And can we get it back to where we aren't a laughingstock? Yes. But it takes two in this party. Yes, you got to clean things up in Minnesota, but you also have to have a president who is not hell-bent on putting that bullseye right over our state. That's part of this. Why are we in the national attention? Some of it is mismanagement of this state by people and Democrats in this state. Some of it is because of the fault of the thieves, the fraudsters. And then some of it is also the fault of the president. Let's break. In a minute, there's been a big effort put on bringing movies back to Minnesota, getting more production happening here. I think we all like it, right? Don't you guys like it when you see a Minnesota scene in a movie? A film has been shot here and it's debuting this week. We are going to speak with one of the actors in the movie Good Sport in just a minute here on Drive Time.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Chris Lindahl's proud to be from Minnesota, to live right here in Minnesota, and to help you achieve your real estate dreams. It's Jason for my friend Chris Lindahl. I've known Chris for a long time. You know him from the billboards, right? Arms wide out. Well, you see him on the buses, on the light rail as you're driving around. But I know the guy. Chris is kind and generous and caring and innovative and always trying to get you a better path to selling your home. Right now, the open market's a little scary, isn't it? Mortgage rates up. We're close to 7 again for mortgage rates. When you look at the supply of homes out there, not great. You would think with low supply that you would be good to go if you go to the open market. But what Chris is finding is more and more homes, maybe because of economic uncertainty, maybe because of that interest rate environment. But more homes are listing, sitting, taking price cuts. Do you want to take the risk? That's the question. If not, the guaranteed cash offer has been making a lot of sense for a lot of people. Yes, if you need to sell quickly and sell as is, guaranteed cash offer is a no-brainer. If you might be inclined to go on the open market, I want you to go to chrislindahl.com today. Get your free smart seller guide. You can decide open market or that big red check, that guaranteed cash offer, which is smarter. Chris will give you the information. You can get it all for free at chrislindahl.com.
Introducing the WCCO Minnesota Translator.
Interesting.
Translation: I strongly disagree with you.
We should get together sometime.
Translation: we will most likely never get together.
Little chilly today.
Translation: it's 14 below and my eyelashes have frozen, but we're not making a thing out of it.
Oh, just gonna sneak past you here.
Translation: get out of the way.
I heard something on CCO today.
Translation: I've listened to both sides, know the context and headlines, got the weather, how the Twins are doing, and that I need to leave 10 minutes early because of road construction.
Fluent in Minnesotan. News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, it's officially the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, 20% off for teachers, and more. Check out all the deals at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
Dave Lee for Aquarius Home Services, your independent authorized Connecticut dealer. This summer, give your home the worry-free water you'll enjoy for years to come. Aquarius has extended their summer trade-in and trade-up sale through August. Trade in your old softener and get $500 off a new Connecticut system. Goodbye to hard water, rust stains, and bottled water. Hello, softer water, cleaner fixtures, and purified drinking water. Schedule your free water test at AquariusHomeservices.com.
Some Berufka's customers close their eyes and spin around real fast.
Why?
It helps them choose between style and comfort.
Our Classics in Motion collection finally bridges that gap.
But spinning around is so much fun.
The clean lines and classic style is now available with the comfort of Power Recline.
Features include a USB charging port, 4 distinct arm styles, and seat foam to match comfort preferences.
Available in sofa, love seat, and chair sizes. Built in Texas with premium fabric and top grain leather options, ideal for active families and buttery popcorn fingers.
The very thought makes my head spin.
Oh, Jim. The 3-seat sofa is Craftsman direct priced from $61.69 or $258 a month for 24 months. Barufkas, no gimmicks, haggling, or hard-to-understand pricing in Woodbury and Burnsville.
Decidedly moving. Your mortgage is probably your biggest bill each month. Imagine having to pay it twice. It can happen if you buy a new home before you sell your current one. You need a real estate agent who knows how to find buyers fast. My friends from the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty, know how to get the job done. Nate and Keisha were worried after their house sat on the market for more than half a year with a different agent. They had bought a new home before their previous one sold, and they felt stuck. They've been hearing me tell you about the Good Neighbor agent and knew they had to call John themselves. John's marketing system reaches thousands of potential home buyers every day. It helps him routinely sell houses fast and for the most money possible. John's marketing system found them a buyer in just a week. It sold for full asking price. They were so happy. Curious what your home is worth? Just type in your address, johnschustergroup.com.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. JohnSchusterGroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by Laguna, Minnesota. Visit buildthenorth.com. Got the single lane construction on northbound 35E as you move past, or rather northbound Cedar Avenue past 35E. Traffic getting by on the left side. Get ready for your slowdown through the run as you head up toward Cliff Road. Traveling southbound 35W, that's jammed up. You move across the Minnesota River Bridge to Highway 13. Attention motorists, Laguna, Minnesota wants you to slow down when driving in construction zones. You're now entering their work zone where they are building a better Minnesota for you. So please slow down when you see the orange cones and yellow vests and save lives. Brought to you by Laguna, Minnesota. Visit buildthenorth.com. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
CCO forecast. It looks like on live radar we have some showers in the vicinity. Looks like no rain hitting the ground in downtown Minneapolis just yet. But out to the west, there is some rain. Here's Chris Schaefer.
We stay dry. Showers will be moving in overnight as we fall back to 70. Most of the heavier rain will fall across southern Minnesota. That will linger into the morning. Mostly cloudy the rest of the day tomorrow with a high up around 85. Dry on Friday, high around 83. It looks like the rain's going to hold off until late. That will spill into Saturday with scattered showers possible. Sunday, the nicer weekend day, partly cloudy and 80.
78 and cloudy in downtown Minneapolis on CCO.
Jason DeRusha.
I don't think he's funny. I don't think he's been funny for years.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hey, excuse me?
Well, hello, handsome.
What's up, shawty? Oh, my bad, OG. She with you? So it's unclear as where your coach is, right? No one knows where he's at?
That is correct.
Okay, so I need a coach to start this game back up per league policy. So,
Marky, we have Marky. Go.
Any
Marky,
takers?
Go.
Can we just wait like 5 minutes?
No.
Coward, go.
No, I can step in. Jeff's got it. Well, you gonna sit there? You gonna get your ass up?
That is a clip from the Minnesota-made movie called Good Sport. It's having its Minnesota Edina Man Theater debut this month. And one of the actors in the film, Sari Lennick, my friend, my fellow member at the Minneapolis Club, is with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. Sari, how are you?
What's up, DeRusha? How are you, buddy?
I'm outstanding. Your movie called Good Sport. And if you're watching on our live stream right now on YouTube, you see the movie poster, which you point out. Your mother said this is another movie where you look terrible in it.
Where I look hideous. Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, just another one where I look hideous.
It's, you know, I mean, as long as the paycheck clears, what do you really care, you know?
I think it's because I'm making faces. And I think maybe some of those faces might be similar to some faces that she's made in her life. So, I don't know. I'm not going to ask you to do therapy right now.
Right.
But I think you're connecting the dots.
It's a little too close to home for mom. The storyline of this movie,
Good Sport, I think is at once absurd and at the same time sort of relatable when you're...
1,000,000,000%.
Right? Tell us what this movie is about.
So the movie is about this dude, Pat. His ex-wife is getting remarried. He's hungover, and he's coaching his son's basketball game. So the basketball game happens. The whole movie happens in real time. Once we get to the basketball game, Pat, our lead character, played by the amazing Minnesota-based actor Sam Landman. Once we get to the basketball game, we are now in real time, and the whole movie takes place over the course of this kid's basketball game. And what unfolds before you is some pretty reprehensible behavior on the part of the adults, including me. I play the ultimate tiger mom. I'm new to that phrase, tiger mom. I thought it was like helicopter mom. But if we need to take helicopter up a notch, I guess the new notch is tiger mom. So
yes, Tiger Mom was like a thing
yeah.
a couple years ago. I remember there was a book about like the Tiger Mom theory. Tough
yeah.
mom, right?
Tough mom, real involved, has an opinion about a lot of stuff.
Stereotypical Wyzetta High School / Edina High School moms.
Yeah, it's funny. I was just communicating with their sports athletic group today because we thought maybe they wanted to bring some groups and see the movie because we might all see ourselves reflected just a bit. I mean, you have kids. You remember like crazy parents that their kids, I hate to throw out the word crazy, but crazy is as crazy does, man. Do you remember crazy parents at your kids' sporting events?
Well, we thought all of the parents were crazy except us. So is that how every parent looks at it? Perhaps. But yeah, I mean, the hardcore obsessed sports parent, it's not exactly the DeRusha way. Let's put it that way. But like, yeah. It is funny.
Or the Lennick way.
But it is funny. It's funny to see. Yes.
Oh, it's so funny to see. And I don't think we've really seen it reflected in film. It's so absurd. And it's really like that. I don't even think we're so wildly over the top, even though this is like a serious comedy, but it's a comedy. But it's just kind of the way. I was treating my son this morning and I was like, remind me who it was who got thrown out of games. He was like, yeah, it was my coach's mom. And I was like, what, really? She was 70 years old, Jason. The woman was 70 years old and she got thrown out of 2 club basketball games when we were living in LA.
My sister, my brother-in-law's dad is the one who gets kicked out of games. And he's got to be late 60s, early 70s for sure. He's a tough one.
Will keep you around.
Maybe you and me have done it wrong. We should be more ridiculous at the sports events. Good Sport is the name of the movie. It is at the Edina 4. So it's at the Mann Theaters in Edina, which is just such a beautiful theater right there at 50th and France. And
isn't it amazing? I know. And what they've done with it and the Gold Bar. We're going to be at the Gold Bar after every screening. I'll be there. I also produced the movie along with Andrew Zuckerman, who wrote and directed it, and John Cronin and Dylan Orth, who are high school buddies of Andrew, dude you met this past weekend. So they started out producing it. I came on. I met Andrew at a bar one day, and he recognized me from another movie I had done quite a while ago here in Minnesota, and we became buddies and then ended up making this movie together.
Why did you guys do this movie in Minnesota?
First of all, I would do every movie in Minnesota. I love making movies here, and everybody wants movies made here. I mean, everyone's super thrilled. It's not just amenable; they're like fired up. And I just wrapped a movie this past week that we shot in Duluth, and there were a bunch of actors that came in from everywhere, including India, and it's just a great place to shoot. People are really into it, as are we. There are these rebates now. We have rebates in the state of Minnesota. Additionally, we have Iron Range rebates. We want to keep those going because people want to come here and shoot. But the reason we did it when we did it, so I met Andrew at a bar. When we made the movie, he was literally half my age. I was 48 and he was 24, and we became best buddies. But we met initially at, I think, Modest Brewery downtown when I first moved back to Minneapolis. And he was kind of nervous to come up to me because he had recognized me from something. And then he was tenacious. He asked me to read his screenplay, and then he followed up because I wasn't going to do it. DeRusha, how many people do you really read that stuff? Ignore it. But the person who keeps calling,
sounds
like vaguely, I did with you.
This sounds very personal. Here, how many emails did I go? You know what? Let's say you're on the show. It's neither here nor there.
A dog with a bone, man. I'm a dog with a bone. I don't do it for everybody. It's you. So he just kept writing to me, and I was like, okay, let's meet. So we ended up meeting at the Caribou in St. Louis Park every month for like a year and a half, and I would read his screenplays, and we would talk. And then he handed me this one, and he said, I think we can do this pretty reasonably. And it was right around when the writer's strike was starting, and then we knew the actor's strike was going to follow. And he's like, I think we can do this pretty reasonably. And we shot in his district high school where the two other producers, I think one of the producers had gone to high school. So we could shoot the whole thing in 2 weeks. It was a little surreal, like Groundhog Day, because the whole thing takes place in the course of this one basketball game. So you're in the same clothes for 2 weeks. So you don't remember. And then we would finish shooting, and then we would wrap and then go to the bar and hang out by the Mall of America, where all my friends who we brought in from out of town. Most of the cast is Minnesota-based, but we brought in some really amazing actors to join the amazing actors here from out of town. So we would just hang out at the bar every night and then start the whole thing all over again the next day. And it was wildly Groundhog Day, because there were no, you didn't have like a peril to mark the passage of time.
Right? Because you're back in the same wardrobe.
Yeah, we were just over and over again. It was pretty amazing. And so we did it. We shot it. The timing was great. We got actors we might not have been able to get had there not been an actor strike, because under a certain level, like at a certain budget point, we were able to get certain actors who ordinarily wouldn't have been able to do this project.
Nice. Sari Lennick is with us. The movie is called Good Sport. It's tonight, the 13th at 7 p.m.
We sold out tonight.
Already sold out.
Yeah, we're playing through the 20th, and we've got a 4 p.m. and a 7 p.m.
So people need to go to mantheaters.com. A lot of 4 p.m. showings over the next couple weeks. And from there, see how it goes. Pretty cool, Sari. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you, friend.
All right.
Thanks, Jason.
There she goes, Sari Lennick. Good Sport is the name of the movie. Only at the Man Theater in Edina right now. But we like this. Movie shot in Minnesota with Minnesota actors. Good stuff. Now, we also like to give away tickets. And we're going to do that in just a minute. I need contestants right now. Do you want to win tickets to Tim McGraw? 651-461-9226. This is the Pawn Shop Guitar Tour, and the Chicks are the openers. So today, if you're a fan of the Chicks, you have an advantage in the Name That Too competition. 651-461-9226. Line it up. You will name a song by the Chicks, and you will win 2 tickets to Tim McGraw, Target Field, August 23rd, thanks to Live Nation. We'll do that when we come back.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
Jason here with a wardrobe intervention. Some of you need it. J.H. and Sons at the Galleria in Edina is my headquarters for looking good. They have me covered. In fact, the shirt I'm wearing right now is from J.H. and Sons at the Galleria. What I did is I went over and saw Alicia and Chuck and Bryce and Dean and the J.H. and Sons team there at the Galleria. And I said, look, I'm going on a vacation, going to Ireland next month with a bunch of CCO listeners. What do you got? And they're like, we got you covered. Here's what you can put together, and you can match these outfits if you're going out to dinner, if you're going for a walk or whatever. It was amazing. That's the level of service that makes J.H. and Sons special. Yeah, the clothing is amazing. Premium, top of the line, beautiful fabrics, Italian, American, all over the world. But it's the service that's going to keep you coming back time and time again. Weddings coming up, J.H. and Sons. Going back to the office, J.H. and Sons. Just want to look good for a night on the town? J.H. and Sons at the Galleria in Edina. Sign up for their email list today. Do it at jhandsons.com.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 218-210-0674 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. Call 218-210-0674 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 218-210-0674 for fast, easy, and affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 218-210-0674.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Slow down South Metro, South 35W, 106th Street, down to Highway 13. Cedar North slows at Cliff Road, where traffic is down to a single lane with construction. West 94 is jammed up, Hemlock Lane to Weaver Lake Road. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
A little bit of rain out there on the live radar, especially to the west and north, so like Maple Grove, Medina, Cokato, Buffalo, that part of the Twin Cities. Partly cloudy tonight, low of 67. Tomorrow, isolated showers possible late again. Friday, high of 84. Sort of the same bit on Saturday, high of 80. Right now, 78 on CCO. Let's name that tune.
Drive time with DeRusha.
I wish you weren't right, but you are.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Rolling on. Oh, that's it. That's it. Dan Cook making it tough. Making it tough. We are playing Name That Tune for a 2-pack of tickets to see Tim McGraw at Target Field. This is August 23rd, a Sunday afternoon and evening. The Chicks, Lady A, and more. Today it's the Chicks, and we've got full phone lines at 651-461-9226. Let's give our first contestant a chance. Linda in Andover. Linda, I'll play the clip one more time. Rolling on. That's it. Can you name that tune, Linda?
Is it Am I the Only One?
Is it Am I the Only One? Oh, it is not. We're doing it again tomorrow, Linda. Try again. Pam in Chanhassen. Pam, can you name that the Chicks tune?
I'm the Only One.
No, not correct. Sorry, Pam. Andrew in Edina. Can you name that Chicks tune?
Oh, Jason?
Yes.
I'm going to say I lost my dog in the trailer park.
Oh, it sounds like a personal problem, Andrew. I'm sorry, not correct. Sharon and Albert Lee, are we going to get through all of these calls? Sharon, can you name that song for the Chicks?
I don't think I can. It's not Gaslighter.
It is not Gaslighter. Ron in Woodbury, you're our last contestant, but we'll fill up the phone lines again if you can't get it. Can you name that tune?
Can you play it one more time?
Sure. One more clip. Here we go.
Yeah, that didn't help, did it?
Maybe tonight the heartache's on you?
No, not right. 651-461-9226. We, for the first time, have gone through all 5 callers for this concert, the Pawn Shop Guitar Tour 2026. Maybe we should just take people without getting their name, Dan. What do you think? Let's just take Matt on line 1. Matt, can you hear me?
Jason, how you doing?
I'm awesome. Can you name the Chick's tune?
I think it's There's Your Trouble. Or There's Your Trouble.
Oh, my goodness. Now, did you have to Google? Did you Google it or did you just figure it out, Matt?
I did not. No, I've heard that song a million times.
Very well done. That's a great song. You're going to see the Chicks. They are part of the opening lineup for the Tim McGraw Pawn Shop Guitar Tour. There's still a couple of tickets available at Ticketmaster.com, but not many at sort of the sticker price. You know, it's the resale tickets are out there. But you're going for free thanks to Drive Time. Congrats.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
We are excited for you. Who are you bringing?
Oh, I got to bring my wife, of course.
All right. Well, you know, you never know. You know, try to keep things together until August 23rd, at least, when you're going to Target Field. That'll be a nice surprise for you guys, for her tonight, for sure. Stay on the line. Dan will get your information. And
I'm pumped. Thanks again.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for listening, too. Pretty cool. Dan, the boss will be happy.
Oh, yeah.
Got to caller 6.
He'd be aroused by that one.
Had to...
No doubt about it.
Had to reset the lines. I mean, that's a major win. We will do this one more time. And thanks to Live Nation for giving us the tickets to give away. That's pretty fun. Ticketmaster.com.
I'll even tell people right now it'll be a Tim McGraw song again tomorrow.
All right. So there you go. Makes sense.
Yeah. He's the headliner. He gets 3 of the 5.
His tour. I like it. Top of the hour, we're going to talk about juvenile crime. Young people. Jacob Frey was on with Chad Hartman. The thing that jumped out to me is he is essentially asking for help. But where he needs the help might surprise you. We'll talk about that at the top of the hour. Continental Diamond time check. It's 3:58. Time to get to continentaldiamond.com. Check out their awesome pre-owned timepiece selection. Go to St. Louis Park. Go visit their beautiful showroom. Family-owned company. Great people. Really appreciate them being a part of the show. That's Continental Diamond. Local news coming up on Drive Time.
Your mortgage is probably your biggest bill each month. Imagine having to pay it twice. It can happen if you buy a new home before you sell your current one. You need a real estate agent who knows how to find buyers fast. My friends from the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty, know how to get the job done. Nate and Keisha were worried after their house sat on the market for more than half a year with a different agent. They had bought a new home before their previous one sold and they felt stuck. They've been hearing me tell you about the Good Neighbor agent and knew they had to call John themselves. John's marketing system reaches thousands of potential home buyers every day. It helps him routinely sell houses fast and for the most money possible. John's marketing system found them a buyer in just a week. It sold for full asking price. They were so happy. Curious what your home is worth? Just type in your address, johnschustergroup.com.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. JohnSchusterGroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply. All right, it's officially the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, 20% off for teachers, and more. Check out all the deals at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast.
Pump up the volume.
When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Minnesota's home for headlines, hijinks, and home runs. News Talk 830 WCCO 1029 HD2 Minneapolis St.
From
Paul.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. There are reports sailors on board the USS Abraham Lincoln are dealing with dwindling essentials and even thoughts of suicide due to extended Mideast deployments. A U.S. official tells ABC News a sailor aboard the carrier went overboard last month and was quickly recovered. The Navy, in a statement, denies the reports of suicide attempts, but says it's addressing supply issues. ABC's Louis Martinez covers the Pentagon.
We should point out again,
This ship was diverted to the Middle East. It did not make a port of call in between for more than 210 days. That is a long length of time. And so, yes, there's going to be concerns when you're dealing day in and day out with the same kind of operations.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth also pushing back on reports.
Completely misrepresented. Listen, we make sure that every ship, every crew, every captain has everything we can provide them at every single moment.
Luigi Mangione has already pleaded not guilty to charges of killing United Healthcare's CEO in both his federal and state cases. Sources familiar with the matter tell ABC News during a conference scheduled for federal court Friday, it is expected that a guilty plea will be announced in the federal case. Here's ABC's Matt Rivers.
This is not something that we were expecting to happen, let's say, on Monday. We first saw that this conference was added to the schedule for this week. We were wondering what was going on Friday. Then sources tell us that this potential plea agreement would be discussed on Friday, and then it moves on to this, which it now appears, according to the sources that are talking to ABC News, that a guilty plea entered here is likely. Now, we should hedge once again that can change up until the very last minute.
Moments ago in Los Angeles, a jury has been selected to hear the evidence in the trial for Dwayne Keefe D. Davis. He's the only person ever charged with the murder of Tupac Shakur. The panel of 12 jurors and 4 alternates will hear opening arguments from each side Monday, August 17th. You're listening to ABC News.
Minnesota's trusted voice. Every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Cloudy, 79 degrees now at 4:02. I'm Laura Oakes. St. Paul Mayor Cully Herr making the connection between the city's homelessness issue and rising property taxes during her 2027 budget proposal unveiled today. The mayor's spending plan includes a property tax levy increase of 6.8% that in part funds homelessness solutions, defending the decision by warning that doing nothing could lead to even larger tax spikes later on.
If we spent an additional $120 million to build housing and provide wraparound services for every individual in the encampments, that would translate to over a 50% increase in the property tax levy. That is in addition to the 6.8% that is being proposed.
As Minneapolis residents come to terms with what is likely to be a hefty property tax hike next year as outlined in Mayor Frey's proposed budget, the mayor today saying there are also bright spots like office vacancy rates.
In the first quarter of 2026, vacancies are down by 150,000 square feet in downtown alone. What that means is that there's 150,000 square feet of office space that is occupied now that wasn't occupied at the beginning of the year.
Frey telling WCCO's Chad Hartman another 100,000 square feet were filled in the second quarter. As we heard on ABC at the top of the hour, sources familiar with the case say Luigi Mangione is expected to plead guilty as early as tomorrow in the federal case accusing him of stalking and killing Minnesota-based United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson outside of a Manhattan hotel. ABC News legal analyst Brian Buckmeyer says there's no guarantee that will happen, and this could be a defense strategy, taking what's called an open plea that would leave the case up to the judge.
I think the plan is to try to get a good deal from the judge, sidestep the prosecution, take it from there, and then hope a double jeopardy argument wins in state court. And that's how you get Luigi Mangione serving 12 years in prison, because they probably believe this is a mitigation case rather than a trial case. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Mangione's state trial expected to begin September 8th. Drought continues to deepen in Minnesota.
The U.S. Drought Monitor report out Thursday morning shows 3/4 of the state is now in at least moderate drought. Nearly 45% is in severe drought, up about 10% from last week. Dryness continues to worsen across northeastern Minnesota, down through the metro area, in the far west and the southwestern corner. The good news, the National Weather Service says we've got multiple chances for rain through Saturday. Gracie Stockton, News Talk 830 WCCO.
And plans are taking shape for a new state park on the grounds of the Minnesota State Capitol.
That state park would be named for the late Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark, who were killed in June of 2025. State Senator John Hoffman is part of the working group, which was included in the legislature's 2026 Omnibus State Government Policy and Finance Law.
But her intention was to create this park so that we could be self-sustaining, that it would be a beautification of what Minnesota is about, right?
The group now plans to meet every 3 weeks with a report of its recommendations due to the legislature by next February. Mark Frey, News Talk 830 WCCO.
In WCCO News Time is 4:05.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Things are jammed up along 35E both directions between Highway 36 and I-94. South 169, that's a slow ride. 494 as you head down to Old Shakopee Road. Up on the north side of the Metro, 10 westbound flowing very nicely. University heading up into Anoka. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jason DeRusha here. The Canopy Group represents 16 different insurance companies, not just one. They give you options. Each year, they'll review your program so you don't have to, making sure you get the best coverage at the best price. Do like I did. Go to thecanopygroup.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by the Canopy Group. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Another warm summer night as we fall back to 70. The clouds will increase. We could see some isolated showers overnight, closer to morning. Mostly cloudy for the rest of the day, 85 the afternoon high. Still a bit humid. Clouds are going to increase on Friday, a high of 83. Any rain should hold off until late and spill into Saturday.
Cloudy right now, 79 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Minnesota hasn't just entered the chat. All too often, we are the chat. You're in the best place to hear what all is going on. News Talk 830 WCCO. Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRusha. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Now, here's Jason DeRusha.
Well, you heard from Laura's news that both cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul, are in a bit of a financial crisis. Budgets mean property taxes going up, jobs being cut, services being cut. And when the mayor of Minneapolis was on the Chad Hartman show today to talk about the budget, there was something he said that wasn't necessarily budget related, but it does go to one of the core issues that both St. Paul and both Minneapolis are facing that really sort of stopped me in my tracks. I'm listening to the interview. I'm like, whoa, because it was about crime. It was about young people. And it was about a problem that we have in our community, and it's a problem that's affecting police, and it's affecting the city of Minneapolis. Cops are busting young people doing crime. You've seen reports about smash and grabs, cars being smashed in, windows being smashed in. You've perhaps heard reports about young people with guns, carjacking people, etc. That sort of stuff had been on the decline, but it appears to be back. And the mayor said not only is it back, but they're at about the limit of what they can do about it. Here's what Jacob Frey said to Chad Hartman that really jumped out to me today.
Here's what we are seeing, though, and it's a problem. Juveniles committing some pretty serious crimes. In some cases, they're with a gun and it's violent. In other cases, it's more than just a nuisance when you've got these smash and grabs that are preventing people from enjoying the city and coming in and having a great night out. And so, you know, I think, again, this is another area where we've got to be really straightforward and honest. I'm all for diversion. I'm all for making sure that, you know, these kids have second chances, but I'm not just going to tolerate someone jacking somebody's car with a gun repeatedly and not having consequences for it. There needs to be.
There needs to be consequences for young people committing crime, and we have no idea what we're doing in this county right now. I believe we're still living in fantasy land. We're still operating when it comes to crime the way that we were operating in 2019 when things were good. They're not. People need to be locked up. They need to be locked up. This is a liberal mayor of the most liberal city in the state of Minnesota saying, I got to get some help here. Is Jacob Frey right? Or is this partially his own doing? 651-461-9226. I think he's right. I think that we've had sort of a walking back. Over the last week, there's been a lot of discussion of what Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said on was she on Face the Nation or Meet the Press? One of those Sunday shows. But she talked about woke one. Woke one was crazy. Sort of the idea being that in the early days of the pandemic, there was a lot of energy around these sort of academic ideas, these woke ideas. Like, we got to just cuddle with the young people who are committing crimes. And when times are good, yeah, exploring different sort of diversions, trying to figure out ways to prevent crime. I still would like to see more work done on the prevention side of things. But when times are bad, you got to crack the whip a little bit, not in a literal sense. Don't here Jason's saying we got to beat the kid. No. But when times are not great, which they are not, and you're seeing things, the mayor said the crime picture is complicated in Minneapolis right now. Things are better in some areas and worse in others. And so, to me, this ultimately comes down to the prosecuting standard and the prosecuting situation. And that's what Jacob Frey was saying without straight up saying it. What he is saying is that the cops are arresting young people, and one, we don't have enough places to put them, and two, they're not being charged. People will have an opportunity to weigh in on this, and I hope we have a robust debate with the county attorney election. In Hennepin County, the top two candidates are Cedric Frazier, who is a state representative, and Anders Folk, who was a federal prosecutor. And he worked in the Hennepin County Attorney Office as well, I think, but I know he was a federal prosecutor. To me, you need a prosecutor who's going to say, look, now is not the time for radical experimentation with trying to figure out what to do with young people. Now is the time that if you smash and grab, if you come at someone with a gun, you're getting locked up. Brad is at 651-461-9226. Brad, what do you want to say?
If a crime is committed and involves a firearm, there should be a minimum of 10 years jail time. And if the crime is committed involving a firearm and it involves the death of someone, then it should be 15 or 20 to life. And that would deter people from committing crimes using firearms.
What do you do with the 12 and the 13 and the 14-year-olds, though, Brad? I think that's what we're seeing an escalation of in the city.
Well, therein that lies another problem. How are they getting these guns? I mean, it can't be through their parents. I mean,
it's the usual ways. It's the gangs. It's the, if you want to get a gun, you can get a gun. And if you're hanging out with other troublemakers and other lawbreakers, you can get a gun.
Well, and that I'll revert back to my original point. If they get caught committing a crime with a gun, they're going to do 10 years. Yeah. If they're 13, they can be charged as an adult when they're 13.
Yeah.
Correct?
They can, but you're not going to put a 13-year-old in adult prison. I mean, that's just the problem. Thanks, Brad. I mean, that is the reality of it. We have to, I get it. It's attractive to me too, right? I want to say, lock them all up, lock them up. I get it. And there need to be consequences, but we also need to get serious about where we're going to put them. Where do you put young people right now? We don't have a big facility. Maybe, and I believe that we are operating in fantasy land when it comes to what we have for facilities. Do we need to build a juvenile detention facility? I think we do. The explosion in crime from 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds that are way beyond like, oh, they stole one car. No, like once you do that 2 or 3 times, like, come on. Enough. 651-461-9226. Let's go to Mike. Mike, the mayor didn't specifically call out Mary Moriarty, but there is a county attorney election coming. To me, this is the number one question that I think we need to be asking these candidates. What are you going to do about young people who the cops are arresting? What is your strategy here?
Oh, it's huge, Jason, and a lot's riding on this race. It's been such a terrible step backward with the current county attorney known as a DA. The DA from the movies and most areas of the country, we have suffered with her. She is so soft on crime. It just kills me that the people of Hennepin County wanted to elect a career public defender who was run out of that office for malfeasance to be our county attorney, but that's the last 4 years.
Yeah.
We do have a chance to change it real soon here. And, I think Mayor Frey has been good on crime, especially for a very liberal guy. It is a huge prosecution problem. And I can't remember what her name was, but it was the past city council president, I think from Ward 11, who moved out of Minneapolis. He tried to laugh off the very terrible violent carjackings of 2020, 2021 as a teenage crime problem.
Yeah.
Oh, it's unbelievable. We need significant prosecution, and I think they do need a huge new juvenile facility.
Yeah, I think a lot of, and I'll say, look, like in 2021, I personally underestimated like how enduring this juvenile crime problem was going to be, Mike. I sort of thought like, all right, we've got like kids with time on their hands, COVID. You're seeing this all around the country. I guess I was hopeful that when kids went back to school, all of the rec centers opened again, there was stuff for people to do, that there would be a more long-lasting turnaround. We haven't seen it. We just haven't. We've seen some progress and then dips again. And it does go to the fact, to me, like I know we closed some of the juvenile facilities. And
one in Ramsey County,
right,
that had been around for a really long time. A friend of mine worked there as a counselor.
I can't
Boys something. I can't remember what it was.
Boys Town, was that what they called it?
Yeah, Boys Town.
Yeah.
We do need facilities because unfortunately these kids are committing some very violent crime, and obviously you want to treat the younger ones differently than you might treat an 18 or 19-year-old.
It's just different, but we're not dealing with it. We're just not dealing with it. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate the call. Hang on the line, Norm. Texters as well. Lots of comments on our video feed. You can watch our shows anytime. We stream live on YouTube at the WCCO radio channel and on our Facebook page, and we post clips. And appreciate it if you give us a like or a subscribe. And same with our podcast. You can listen to our show while you're pretending to work out tomorrow morning. I think that's a great idea. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcast and on Spotify. Just search Drive Time with DeRusha.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Let's talk about the most delicious, high-protein, real food that comes from right here in Minnesota. It is Minnesota pork. It's Jason here for our friends at the Minnesota Pork Board, and they're getting ready for the state fair. You know it's going to be popping out at the pig booth and getting your pig ears and the oink booth and the whole bit. Minnesota Pork can't wait to tell their story to you. I love telling their story because I love Minnesota pork. Lean, high protein, delicious, affordable. Pork chop for dinner tonight sounds good to me. Maybe this weekend you're going to make a nice slow roasted pulled pork sandwiches. How about pork carnitas? Maybe you need recipe inspiration. You're like, summer's almost over. I don't know. What am I going to make? TasteWhatPorkCanDo.com. So many great recipes. TasteWhatPorkCanDo.com. Put flavor on the table. Go to your grocery store, go to your butcher shop. Let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight. Oh, yeah. Summer's not over yet, and Launchpad Golf, the Meadows, is where I'm finishing it strong. It's Jason DeRusha. Launchpad Golf in Prior Lake, right across from Mystic Lake Casino Hotel. It's more than a golf entertainment venue. Come for dinner. Try some of my favorites like the Truffle Bison Burger, Wild-Caught Salmon. Plus, how about this deal? The Summer Players Card. It's just $199. Golf in a suite any weekday with 5 guests. 2 visits. Your new weekday hangout pays for itself. Book tonight at launchpadgolf.com.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Drive Time with DeRusha, where the conversation's always in drive. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. They know me and Jack Daniels got a history. There's a party.
Lots of texts and lots of calls. I'm glad to see it. Honestly, I wondered where you guys would be on this as an issue. I do think when it comes to the county attorney race in Hennepin County, the number one issue is juvenile crime. How are you going to handle it? What's going to be different? What's your approach? I'm not that worried about, I think the big headlines are like, oh, the big cases. That stuff sort of works itself out. I'm not that worried that like, oh, what, we're not going to prosecute a murder? Like, we're going to prosecute. And I do think that Mary Moriarty has become the punching bag for everybody who doesn't like everything. But Mary Moriarty was elected to do what she's doing. I didn't vote for her. I disagree with leaning too far like a defense attorney instead of being a prosecutor. I want a prosecutor. But I also salute Moriarty for the things she's done to try to intervene with young people and car thefts before they happen. I think that stuff has been great. That said, like, for the time we're in right now, for me, we need a tougher approach. Now, a lot of texts have come in about the facilities. In St. Paul, it used to be Boys Totem Town. And there's a Pioneer Press article from 2019 when Boys Totem Town officially closed. And the headline said, an old facility falls to a new philosophy in treating young offenders. And that new philosophy is rehabilitation, an alternative to incarceration. And Hennepin County does have a juvenile detention center, but it has 87 beds. It's not enough. It's not enough. The county is big. The juvenile crime problem is massive. Do we need changes to the law? I think this is a question for the governor candidates. Do we need changes there? The mayor of Minneapolis also talked about a new law that was passed that ties their hands a little bit with some of the young people and whether they can be held or not. To me, we got to be tougher with juvenile crime. Norm is in Prior Lake. Norm, thanks for waiting through the break. You're on CCO.
So I was a police officer from 1980 to 2006, 22 years as a school resource officer, finishing my career at Chaska Police. About 30 years ago, Jonathan Kellerman, a noted author, clinical child psychologist, wrote a book called Savage Spawn. It was only 80 pages. So Democrat liberal, and he came out and said, you have a child who kills another human being. Mentally, there's something wrong with that child not embracing human life. That child will do it again. They need to be incarcerated. And I totally agree with your idea of a separate facility for kids with the violent crimes, but it has to be all encompassing, especially with child forensic psychologists like the Minnesota Sex Offender Program is, should they ever be released? Is there a chance they could? I don't have a problem with that, but you need experts in the field, not politicians, to say this kid's no longer a danger. And for the people that say, the kid's brains aren't, fully developed.
That was the common bit, right? Like, oh, what are we supposed to do with a 13, 14, 15-year-old?
My comment is, great. The kid's going to be released on probation. Your kids are gone to college. You're going to open up a foster home for that child. Well, I want to do that. They could be dangerous. They are dangerous. And that's the sad fact of something happened in the womb or something. There are some people that I've seen born sociopaths or psychopaths that I agree with you 100%. You need a separate facility to deal with these kids, not sitting in the same cloud where they're going to get preyed upon. You've got full social workers, everything to see, can they ever be rehabilitated to be released, or are they going to be such a danger?
Thanks, Norm. Thanks for your years of service as a law enforcement officer, too. We appreciate that. Jennifer in Stillwater. I mean, Jennifer, you're not going to disagree with locking up more of these young people, are you?
No, we should be locking them up. There's a juvenile detention center in Minnetonka. It's gorgeous, and it's been sitting empty since 2021. It's a $30 million juvenile facility in Minnetonka, and there's a picture of it on Alpha News from January of 25, and they're wondering why it's sitting there empty. Also,
it's crazy. If we have that ready to go, we should open it up and start filling it up. I mean, it's enough. I support being lenient and experimenting in a time where you don't have a major problem. Today we have a major problem. It's just there's a time for kind of the college theoretical approach of how to do things, and maybe that's not fair to the criminal, and I'm okay with that. Like, the time for experimenting to me is over. It's time to get serious.
Right. And
how about that for me? How about that for me, Jennifer? What are all the DeRushas, a crazy liberal, going to do with my view on this?
Well, I'm just wondering why, like Alpha News, also they obtained a 9-page list referenced by Ramsey County Sheriff Fletcher detailing 14 murders and 100 shootings by Somali gangs in the past 3 years, including a murder out in Wilmer. And yet our state attorney general, Keith Ellison, is trying to file cease and desist, a strongly worded letter basically about this. Why wouldn't we just prosecute them and lock them up? They have murdered 14 people, it says here.
Yeah. I mean, if you've committed a crime, you got to be locked up. We don't need to be worried. And I spoke on this show about in support of Sheriff Fletcher for naming what the problem is. We don't need to be so sensitive about, I don't want to give a bad impression. Everybody get your act together. And the truth is, if you had back in the day when we had Latino gangs and the Latin Kings, no one was like, whoa. Let's talk about all crime. Come on. Crazy. Lots of text at 651-461-9226. Texter says 87 beds at that Hennepin County facility, that juvenile facility, but they only have 24 residents because they only keep felons who are kept until they're eventually certified as adults. They can hold kids from 10 to 21, but it's a different procedure, different policy. Texter's saying, I put my 13-year-old daughter in a year-long center for troubled children. It took a year to modify her behavior, selling and using drugs. She graduated from a private college, top honor, heads up a major fundraising center. It takes time to help troubled children and tough love. You can't send them for 3 weeks. We need to invest in these kids. They can be saved. Another texter, I believed in what Mary Moriarty was elected on. However, 6 years later, it's not working. Youth need to have severe consequences, especially for gun violence. I think it's okay to admit that, like, we thought this was a good idea and it's not working. Doesn't hurt me to say, like, oh, I thought that the juvenile crime that we're seeing in 2021 would go away. It hasn't. I was wrong. Let's normalize saying I was wrong, and let's fix the problem. And let's save these kids. I think that point is accurate as well. But the tough love is what I think we need now. We'll break in a minute. DeRusha Eats takes a look at late nights in Minnesota. I want to know your favorite spot to get a bite to eat or a drink after 10 p.m. Because I was in a Minnesota city last night, and I was astonished to find a place open. I feel like we are shutting down. I think it's embarrassing. We'll talk about it when we come back. 651-461-9226.
Drive Time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Smart Talk.
I think the U.S. government should ban social media for kids under 16.
Sharp opinions.
What the heck is going on in St. Paul? This whole deal with Mayor Herr just gets weirder by the minute.
Sharp hosts.
Donate the Dodgers. Change the damn system.
Solid Minnesota.
And it's our water supplies that are under attack. It's the people. And this freaking president of the United States is using this as a way to dunk on a politician that he doesn't like.
Yeah, some may post great quotes. Here, we drop them live. Minnesota's radio station. News Talk 830 WCCO.
Get ready for the next evolution of golf at Breezy Point Resort with Ace Valley, opening summer 2027. This one-of-a-kind lighted 12-hole par 3 course designed by renowned architect Andy Staples features unforgettable holes inspired by iconic courses around the world, including an island green and a rooftop tee shot. After your round, relax at the elevated clubhouse with great food, drinks, and panoramic course views. Be among the first to experience golf like never before. Learn more at breezypointresort.com.
If you're planning to move to a senior living facility, you know firsthand that the wait lists are long, and when an opening pops up, you should take it right away. If you need to sell your house to make it happen, you're going to need to work quickly. My friends from the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty, will make sure that your home sells when you need it to. Steve and Cheryl knew when they got to the top of the list, they needed to be ready. They heard me talking about John on the radio and called the Good Neighbor agent to come up with a plan. It made it so they didn't have to feel rushed, and so that the short notice of their move wouldn't leave them stuck paying for 2 homes. When they got the call saying that a spot in a senior living center was open, they knew they had to act. Luckily, they'd already come up with a plan with John. He fired up the marketing system. Interest came in right away. Took him 2 days to find a buyer. That's it for Steve and Cheryl. Their home sold for $5,000 over asking price. They planned ahead. You should too. Curious what your home is worth? Go to johnschustergroup.com.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. johnschustergroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply.
When it came to protecting the WCCO radio building, we wanted to find a team we could trust. We tried other companies before, but the issue kept coming back. Then we called Valor Pest Solutions. Shane and his team came out, did a thorough inspection, and put together a plan that kept us covered ever since. No shortcuts, no guesswork, just real expertise and results you can count on. That's why WCCO stands behind Valor Pest Solutions. Because when other companies came up short, They got it right.
This is Laura Oakes. Tackle those clog-prone gutters once and for all with free installation on Leaf Guard brand gutters from Lindus Construction through the end of August. Same deal on GAF asphalt shingles. Call 844-9-LINDUS or visit lindusconstruction.com.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty. We all have different skills, things that make us unique. And in the Minnesota Army National Guard, we combine all of that for a common mission, serving our home. I am Sergeant First Class Daphne Awasonia from Robbinsdale. We know strength isn't found alone. It comes when all of us fight for the same goal. When that goal is protecting what matters most, there is nothing stronger. What will you bring to help us build that strength? Go to nationalguard.com/Minnesota to see how you can get started today.
Paid for by the Minnesota Army National Guard. Brought to you by the Minnesota Broadcasters Association and this station.
Curtis James of Bear Market Financial Services.
When we get to retirement, the last thing that we want to do is sacrifice the quality of our retirement because things far outside of our control. The intention behind the financial planning really starts to build this out, to map out these crucial elements of what should be inside of a plan for retirement.
Making retirement easier on Retirement Simplified with Curtis James, Sunday evenings at 6 on WCCO.
Ladies, grab your friends and get ready for Ducks Unlimited Purse Bingo at the Gold Nugget Tavern and Grill in Minnetonka. Saturday, August 15th. Doors open at 11 and bingo starts at 12:30. Win designer purses and have some fun. Get your tickets today.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast.
Pump up the volume.
When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
And brought to you by USPS Ground Advantage. Got the problems in place for Highway 52 northbound at Plato Boulevard. Injury crash has the highway shut down. Again, that's North 52 near Plato Boulevard. Traffic using the ramps to and from Plato Boulevard to work its way around the wreck itself. Could be another couple of hours before that is cleared out of the way. Got another crash working on East Metro. It's 494 northbound at Valley Creek Road. Look for the right lane to be shut down. Traffic gets slow as you come up from Bailey Road. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
CCO forecast. Oh, a little bit of rain on the radar. Nothing heavy, and some of this isn't hitting the ground. Here's Chris Schaefer.
We stay dry. Showers will be moving in overnight as we fall back to 70. Most of the heavier rain will fall across southern Minnesota. That will linger into the morning. Mostly cloudy the rest of the day tomorrow with a high up around 85. Dry on Friday. High around 83. It looks like the rain's going to hold off until late. That will spill into Saturday with scattered showers possible. Sunday, the nicer weekend day, partly cloudy and 80.
Right now it's 78. Showers in the area in the metro and especially almost in a straight line out Highway 12 out to the west here on CCO.
Drive time with DeRusha.
I don't think it's working. Hello.
Right, yes.
On News Talk 830 WCCO. DeRusha. He has the eats.
Nobody brings you the Twin Cities restaurant scene like your favorite foodie. Now, Jason explores some of the great chefs, owners, and stories right in our own backyard. Drive time now transitions into DeRusha Eats.
DeRusha Eats brought to you by our friends from the Minnesota Pork Board. I was in Rochester overnight. And last night, I went right after the show. I posted about it on social media. And we're going to talk about this next hour. But oh my gosh, like hundreds of recommendations of where to go in Rochester from people, which is amazing. So fun. One of the recommendations was a rooftop patio that's operated by a group called Bitter and Poor, and they have a speakeasy and then a rooftop. And so I go to dinner, then I go to the speakeasy, then I check into my hotel, and then I'm like, It's 10:30. You know what? I'm going to wander over to the rooftop. And guess what? It was open. Which today is noteworthy because don't you feel like in Minneapolis and in St. Paul, not on the weekend, but even sometimes on the weekend, I feel like it's early to bed these days. Post-COVID, that we shutter down pretty much 9 o'clock. Where is your late night spot? For food or for drink? Or do you care? Are you like, Jason, I go to bed at 9 o'clock anyway? 651-461-9226. Here's what I posted on TikTok last night.
Question for you. It is Wednesday. It is almost 11 p.m. and I'm at a rooftop in Rochester. Freaky Minneapolis and St. Paul shut down at like 9:30 now, and Rochester is happening. I almost wanted to say what?
Is Rochester cooler than Minneapolis and St. Paul? Am I being melodramatic about this? There was a time when, like, if you went, like tonight, I'm going to see Dirty Dancing at the Ordway. When Dirty Dancing is done, if I wanted to go get a drink at the St. Paul Hotel, St. Paul Grill, I'm pretty sure they close. When does the grill close? The grill is open until 9:30, Monday through Saturday. 9:30. Can we be a proper town if so much of it closes so dang early? Now, Jeff in Maple Grove says the Lookout in Maple Grove is always open when you need it to be. The Lookout is open till 1 a.m. tonight. Do we need the Lookout to be open till 1 a.m.? Maybe so. I understand why restaurants have done this. If you ran a restaurant, if Dan Cook ran a restaurant, would you call it Dan Cook's?
I don't know. That doesn't seem like a very restaurant-y name, does it?
Well, there's like Ted Cook's, the barbecue place. Ted Cook's 19th Hole. It's a good name. Dan Cook's.
I guess.
The name is Cook's. What are you talking about that's a bad
well,
name?
I don't. First
it's
of all,
a restaurant that would have the name Cook. Brilliant. There used to be a restaurant in St. Paul called Cook St. Paul.
See, then it's derivative. I don't want to steal somebody else's idea.
It's your dang name. So here's why it doesn't work. And I don't know what the fix to this is, but what I'm pointing out is something that is a frustration for me. And maybe it is for you. Maybe it is not. It's 651-461-9226. For restaurants, if you're open late, maybe you sell a little food. It's not the rush, right? 10 o'clock. How many people are eating food at 10 o'clock if you're open? Not a lot. So you're paying a cook, you're paying a dishwasher, you're paying a server. So you're paying labor. You're keeping the restaurant open. And you're irritating your staff. Because people like not working till midnight or 1, I just think it's weird that everything seems to close at 9 p.m. The Lexington and St. Paul, I think that closes at 9 on weekdays, 10 on weekend. Like, what are we? It's embarrassing. Texters at 651-461-9226. Too much crime downtown to stay open late. We just did a segment on crime. I'm not soft on crime. That is not why restaurants are closing early.
No, but the next reason might have a good chunk to do with it, and based on the point that you just made.
The next texter says, which?
The reason the restaurants in Minneapolis and St. Paul close early is because the minimum wage they'd have to pay.
Maybe.
You're talking about
doing the math.
You're not
right?
selling that much food.
Yeah.
You're paying much more for your servers and your dishwashers and all those people than somebody out in the suburbs would.
It's harder to justify.
It's just harder to make ends meet.
I think part of why Rochester, and it's not like all of Rochester is bumping late at night, but because it's such a Mayo Clinic town, like I talked with Jamie Yukas, my former co-anchor at Channel 4, who started her career as a reporter in Rochester, and she said she loved working in Rochester because everything was open after 10. And it's because it's a company town, and the company is Mayo. So those doctors want somewhere to go after work. I thought that was interesting. I hadn't thought about that as a possible reason. Texter says, preach, Jason. I love the St. Paul Hotel Bar, but the closing time is just absurd. Chicago area guy, been here 30 years now and still scratching my head at the closing time lunacy when in the mood for a late night low ball out with the wife, says Beardtown Pete. Like, I don't understand. Well, I do understand it. I don't like it. That's what I'm saying. I get it. If I were a restaurant owner, you're like, am I supposed to do this just to make the town cooler? And I guess I would say, yes, could you guys do something to make our town a little cooler? We need a little injection of cool. Now, texters are responding to the idea of if Dan Cook owned a restaurant, what should we call it? I liked this topic, too, at 651-461-9226. So if you're opening, now I think Dan Cook, it should be eponymous. Is that the correct term? Eponymous?
Sure.
Where you would name it after yourself.
After myself.
Dan Cook.
We would serve 3 things.
Okay.
Pizza.
Yep.
Burgers.
Yep.
Chicken tenders. You want something else? Go somewhere else.
Would you allow modifications to the burger, toppings to the burger?
Slight. And very basic.
Cheese?
Sure.
Any varieties of cheese like pepper jack, or is that too fancy?
No, there'd be like American cheddar. Take your pick. Let's go. Bacon. Bacon would be allowed.
Any sort of
Thank
sauce?
you, pork board.
No sauce.
If it rhymes with aioli, no.
Texter says, if Dan Cook owned a restaurant, it should be called the Debbie Downer.
I like that name better than Dan Cook's, I'll tell you that.
Now, Vanita just texted in and said the Lex may close early, but if you get there late and run into Vanita and Jason, her husband, you may get a bonus late night happy hour. That did happen. That did happen with Alyssa and I one night where we ran into Vanita and Jason, and then I believe we just invited ourselves over to her house. And I probably stayed longer than it was welcome, but we had a wonderful time.
That tracks.
Vanita has a wonderful house. She's a great hostess. She rolled out the red carpet. It was very nice. Actually, her house may be the best bar in St. Paul right now. At least it's got the best hours. You want to show up there. I do think, oh, this is interesting. Texas say I work at a place that has a differential pay bump for those that work the weekend. Restaurants should do the same for those that work after 8 p.m. Another texter says, why don't theaters have bars for people to go to there? That actually is very interesting. Like, Hennepin Theater Trust just announced that they're renovating that building at 9th and Hennepin that just has offices or whatever. They're putting more bathrooms in there, so you don't have those giant lines for bathrooms at intermission. But the idea of, would it make sense for them to open up a spot? I don't know.
I'm sorry.
All right. What is making... Oh, this is very good. All right. 2 topics. Keep the text coming at 651-461-9226. Do you have a late night spot? Are you with me that you're annoyed that Minnesota, Minneapolis, and St. Paul seem to roll up the streets at 9 or 10 p.m.? And if Dan Cook were to open a restaurant, what would you name it? All of that at 651-461-9226.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Make sure your family is well taken care of with life insurance. Protect your phone, laptops, and more with electronic device insurance, and cover your furry friends with pet health insurance.
Create the deck of your dreams with Menards. Build your outdoor project from the largest in-stock selection of AC2 lumber and thick decking. All pressure treated for enhanced durability. And it's easy to load in our drive-through lumber yard. Plus, get free estimates with our easy-to-use deck design program. Available in-store or on Menards.com. Save big on AC2 pressure-treated lumber and thick decking. Plus, check out our weekly flyer online for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
At Wealth Enhancement, we believe wealth is in the details. Our team of trusted advisors craft personalized solutions to help you achieve your financial goals. Tune in to the Your Money Show on Newstalk 830 WCCO every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. or go to wealthenhancement.com to connect with one of our advisors.
Let's make this summer your best summer ever. Jason here for Luther Kia of Bloomington, and Luther Kia Bloomington wants to upgrade your ride. Outstanding prices. $399 a month sign and drive lease offers on Seltos, Sportage, Nero, and K5. Get out of here. Plus $750 owner loyalty cash on the stunning Kia Telluride and the Telluride Hybrid. Best cars for the money on the market. Check out their brand new facility, now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 218-210-0674 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. Call 218-210-0674 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 218-210-0674 for fast, easy, and affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 218-210-0674.
If you need to sell a house and you want it done now, and you want to skip the hassles, let me show you how. Join the Red Check Club and sleep well tonight. Join the Red Check Club and spread your arms out wide. Get a guaranteed cash offer and don't look back. Go to chrislandall.com and start to pack.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by Verizon Business. North 52 still closed at Plato Boulevard, using the ramps to and from Plato to North 52 to work your way around it, but that will be closed for probably another hour, maybe even more. So North 52 at Plato Boulevard closed till further notice. Things are jammed up as you come up from Butler. If you're going to be traveling 494 northbound, an accident at Valley Creek off to the right shoulder now, but it is jammed up coming up from Highway 61. Verizon Business experts love small businesses, so they come directly to you on your schedule. Real experts and members of your community learning firsthand about your unique business needs with expertise tailored for you. Make an appointment with a Verizon Business expert. Go to verizon.com/book today. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hungry? Go to Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan for real Texas barbecue. All meats smoked fresh in-house daily. You can dine in, take out, have it delivered, or have your event catered anywhere in the metro. Just go to Dickeys.com. Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Drove by Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan on my way back from Rochester this afternoon. They bring us the weather forecast. Light rain on the radar right now. Nothing significant. Low is 67. Tomorrow, partly cloudy. Isolated showers possible late. 84. 80 on Saturday. Scattered showers possible Saturday as well. We could use the rain, said every dad out there in CCO land.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
She knows what I think about, and what I think about. Just
Late night dining. I want more of it. Jason, I couldn't agree more. Bring back the jukebox Saturday night. Another texter says, nothing good happens after 10 p.m. And no, I'm not old. Texter says, the Nankin was always open till 1 or 2 a.m. Now you can't get a bite to eat past 9 o'clock on a weeknight. Now, Carl at the Perkins on 494 in France. Perkins was like my high school hangout. We're open 24 hours because we would nerdy theater kids. I know you're shocked to hear that I was a theater kid. They're open 24 hours and serve beer and wine till midnight. That sounds pretty good, actually. For Dan's restaurant, it should be called the All-Nighter. And you can always drink at Mystic Lake 24/7. There is that. Danny's Cookery. That's Danny Cooks.
No.
Danny Cooks is pretty good. Do you not like Danny?
Yeah, not a big fan.
As a restaurant owner, I could tell you that COVID killed the late night. I think that's right. COVID did kill the late night. And a lot of it is the diner. But here's the problem. If you don't build it, you don't know if they will come. And I get it. Do you want to spend money to be open? Do you want to spend $2,000 to be open and maybe bring in $3,000 or $4,000? Yeah. Because employees like being done early too. The problems you're talking about today are a direct result of the people that St. Paul and Minneapolis elect the city council, the county boards, the mayors. Another texter says that crime is part of the reason. Now, the restaurant owner just said it was COVID. I do think crime is a factor in that, but it goes to this whole circular logic. Are the people staying away because crime has them staying away, or are they staying away because nothing's open? Continental Diamond time check. 4:57. They're always open at continentaldiamond.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons. And lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen. And oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live. And you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you washed that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. No, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever. Now with odor fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day.
Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Everyone worth hearing, everything worth knowing. News Talk 830 WCCO.
1029 HD2, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Families are speaking out about issues on board the USS Abraham Lincoln, diverted to the Middle East for an extended deployment. A U.S. official tells ABC News a sailor went overboard in August and was quickly recovered. The Navy, in a statement, denying reports of suicide attempts, but says it's addressing supply issues. Editor-in-chief of the Military Times and Marine Corps veteran J.D. Simpkins says he's heard from more than one family expressing concern for the mental health of the sailors on the USS Lincoln.
I think the last time some of these sailors have stepped on solid ground was in December. That's absolutely insane to go that long without a port call, without any type of mental refresh. And we're talking about doing that amid combat operations, which are extremely frantic.
Secretary Pete Hegseth says reports are completely misrepresented. The top Democrat on the Senate Armed Services Committee, Richard Blumenthal, now demanding answers. New court filings allege agents from Homeland Security investigations waged a, quote, unprecedented campaign of spying on Americans during ICE protests that erupted in Minnesota following the deaths of 2 U.S. citizens. Details stemming from a Justice Department case alleging more than a dozen people engaged in a conspiracy to impede operations. ABC's Alex Mallon has more on the filing from one defendant's attorney.
He alleges that the government essentially waged a vast surveillance operation 4 days after the killing of Alex Preddy called Operation Puppet Master, which he says was essentially used to go through all of the people that were not only just on the ground, but to try and tie them to various left-wing organizations, including labor unions, teachers unions.
All defendants have pleaded not guilty. The FAA says a United flight headed to Phoenix blew 2 tires as it was taking off from O'Hare International this afternoon. The pilots aborted takeoff. Passengers deplaned downstairs to the runway, were bused to the terminal. The pilots says all passengers were okay. You're listening to ABC News.
Minnesota's trusted voice, every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Mostly cloudy, 78 degrees at 5:02. I'm Laura Oakes, and new this hour, the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension has identified the Anoka County Sheriff's deputy who fired his weapon during a 6-hour-long standoff in Isanti last week. Veteran Deputy Brian Torborg fired 1 round during the incident in which SWAT team members entered the home and took 42-year-old Jason Phillips into custody. Investigators recovered multiple firearms and say Phillips fired as many as 50 shots at responding officers. His wife and 5 children were also inside the home during that standoff. Phillips makes his next court appearance on August 19th. St. Paul Mayor Cully Herr presenting her 2027 budget proposal today amid public scrutiny over an ongoing homelessness crisis and a review of her leadership.
The mayor's budget trims police numbers to 605 officers and introduces a property tax levy increase.
We were able to limit property tax levy increase to 6.8%, a meaningful reduction from the more than 12% increase we otherwise would have faced.
She also doubled down on plans to close homeless encampments throughout the city, but she urged state and federal partners to share in the financial responsibility.
It forced every level of government and service providers to confront the reality that this challenge has outgrown the capacity of any one local government to solve alone.
Police Chief Axel Henry attended the address and applauded, raising questions about his relationship with the mayor following his recent sexual harassment complaint that is still under review. Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Sources close to the Luigi Mangione case say he could change his plea in New York federal court to guilty as early as tomorrow. Mangione is charged with gunning down United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson outside of a Manhattan hotel in 2024. ABC's Matt Rivers says the situation is fluid.
Luigi Mangione, to this point, has proved to be a pretty mercurial client. And so he has the ability to, even if he's telling his legal team right now that he's agreed to this, up until the moment that it's actually entered, that could change.
Mangione is also facing murder charges in state court. That trial is set to begin September 8th. Both sets of charges carried the possibility of a life sentence. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison and Ramsey County Attorney John Choi will go before a judge next week in their effort to keep rival gangs from gathering at this year's Minnesota State Fair. 2 preliminary hearings were held today. Ellison says the state needed to take action following a social media post where alleged gang members referenced the biggest battle of the summer at the fair on August 29th.
We want to keep everybody safe and healthy. And quite frankly, I'd like these guys to wake up before they destroy their future, because that's what they're heading towards if they don't change.
The 2 gangs have been linked to previous fights that have spilled into neighborhoods surrounding the fairgrounds. Good news, a key piece to the Minnesota Twins lineup returns tonight, maybe even emerging from the cornfield.
The team announcing today that center fielder Byron Buxton has been reinstated from the 10-day injured list as the 27th man for tonight's Field of Dreams game in Dyersville, Iowa against Philadelphia. Buck has been out since July 29th with a right hip impingement. On the season, Buxton is hitting .263 with 25 homers and 45 RBI. Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
And WCCO News Time is 5:05.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Going to find the crash still working on North 52 near Plato Boulevard. The highway is currently closed. Will be for another hour or so as they get things cleared up. Again, that's North 52 near Plato Boulevard. USPS Ground Advantage reliable route. If you're looking for an alternate, Highway 61 will help you there. Traveling north 252, some stoplight congestion, 694 to 610. Traveling 169 northbound, things are jammed up as you move between Highway 62 and Highway 7. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
From the streets of New York to the cafes of Havana, Guys and Dolls is a high-rolling Tony Award-winning musical spectacular. I'll wager you're gonna love it and get bang for your buck. Guys and Dolls at Chanhassen Dinner Theaters. Snag those tickets. Visit ChanhassenDP.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
And it's brought to you by the Chanhassen Dinner Theaters. Guys and Dolls on stage now. Call chanhassendt.com for details. Here is WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Another warm summer night as we fall back to 70. The clouds will increase. We could see some isolated showers overnight, closer to morning. Mostly cloudy for the rest of the day, 85 the afternoon high. Still a bit humid. Clouds are going to increase on Friday, a high of 83. Any rain should hold off until late and spill into Saturday.
Mostly cloudy right now, 78 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
The stuff you didn't know that you need to know. News Talk 830 WCCO. He knows news. He knows talk. He knows nonsense, too. So get ready for a lot of each. This is Drive Time with DeRusha, fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Once again, here's Jason DeRusha.
Well, you heard the news from Laura. Byron Buxton back in the lineup for the Field of Dreams game tonight, and the Twins posted a picture on their social media of Buck and his son having a catch. It's pretty amazing. Dad, do you want to have a catch? Is the caption of Byron and his son Brixton, right?
Yeah, that's Brixton. His son Blaze, I don't know if Blaze is there with him, but when I was down in spring training after you had left, just abandoned me there.
Yeah.
And then I was hanging out with Vanita. His son Blaze was out there and they were doing the same kind of play and catch out on the spring training field. And it is, maybe I'm just a sucker, but that whole "Dad, you want to have a catch" bit from the movie,
yes,
it gets me every time.
What a moment, right? And with Buck being activated off of the IL just in time for this game tonight, and it's pretty good.
They got to do the players emerging from the corn bit, don't they?
Oh,
you got to do that.
For sure. That'll be on Netflix tonight on TV. We'll have the game here on CCO, of course.
Pregame at 6:00.
And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we get you closer to the pregame in the next hour. We had Lisa Dameth on the show yesterday, and you can check out the whole interview if you missed it. It's available wherever you get podcasts. We had Lisa Dameth. We had Peggy Flanagan, both on the show. And what I said to Lisa is that I think the Republicans have their most electable lineup with her and Michele Tafoya. Then, I mean, I can't even remember. It goes back to Tim Pawlenty, I think, but I can't remember a time where Republicans have more mainstream, accessible candidates. I sort of don't know how to talk about this without saying, like, they didn't nominate anybody. I mean, the shortcut is to say they didn't nominate anybody who seems crazy. But the other part is there are certain aspects of both of these candidates that I think remove some of the disqualifiers for the independent voter, for the Republican who maybe identifies as like a Tim Pawlenty style Republican, which I often say, like, if you're a Tim Pawlenty style Republican today in the political dynamic today, that probably makes you a moderate Democrat. Andy Brehm is a conservative contributing columnist to the Minnesota Star Tribune. He's with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. Andy, am I saying this right? Does this feel to you like the best top two at the top of the ticket since the Tim Pawlenty years?
I would agree with that. And first of all, thanks for having me. It's always good to be on your show.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I mean, these are two rock star candidates, and it's been interesting. I've been hearing from, honestly, a lot of Democrats that people are pleased to have a vibrant Republican Party again and to have some choices, and that there's going to be some competition. Both Lisa Damath and Michele Tafoya are very articulate, strong leaders, and the polls show are going to be able to give Democrats a run for their money. So we Republicans have not done a very good job of putting forward good candidates, and I give my party enormous credit. We turned that corner Tuesday night, so it's going to be a very competitive November.
Were you surprised by just how dominant both Michele Tafoya and Lisa Damath turned out to be based on the primary election numbers from Tuesday?
Not really, because the consensus amongst a lot of Republicans has just been, we can't afford another DFL trifecta. We cannot afford to let Democrats take control of the state again. The consequences were pretty severe, and I think Republicans had some blame in that by just not putting forward our best people. So the desire to win, the love for our state, the love for Minnesota, and we wanted to do better, and the way we do that is to have some influence in St. Paul. So I think people sobered up, and we wanted to put forward winners, and there's no question that we did. I mean, Mike Lindell, he'd been our nominee. I certainly wouldn't have voted for him. It would have been a train wreck, and rightfully so. So kudos to Minnesota Republicans.
So let me ask this, Andy, because I think most Minnesota Republicans support Donald Trump, the never Trump, that sort of era of that wing of the Republican Party. To me, I don't feel that that's a significant group of Republicans in Minnesota anymore. What do you think Republicans in Minnesota were thinking when they said, you know what, we love Donald Trump, but no, like, he's not reading this correctly?
Well, I think Minnesota conservatives are independent-minded. We certainly have a history of that. In 2016, we were the only state to go for Marco Rubio. So, we do that. I think a lot of support for President Trump has come from really the alternative. People have been wanting to, get behind him because the alternative has been so rough. I don't know if it's necessarily endorsement of everything that he does or says. I know a lot of us Republicans certainly have issues with that. So we'll see. Politics is constantly changing. It's constantly evolving. And I'm in a very good mood today. I like the direction Republicans are heading in. We can be plenty conservative. I'm a very conservative guy, but we can do it in a way that's attractive. And we've had a tough time doing that. And I think that's about to change.
Michele Tafoya is, for me, the unknown, where, we had a caller earlier today say, like, Michele Tafoya's never served. She's never run for anything. What has she ever done besides, sports caster? And I guess I would say, I'm like, well, Al Franken was a comedian before he became a senator. I don't think actually, I think it's good for America to have people as a part of the Senate, as a part of the House, who come from a different background, who maybe haven't spent their whole life running for something. It doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to vote for the non-political lifer, but just having a resume doesn't necessarily do much for me either. The question with Tafoya is that we just don't know, like, once you get into a real campaign where you're getting asked questions and you're expected to know a position on who knows what's going to happen between now and election day, we sort of don't know how she's going to respond to that, right?
Well, I mean, listen, I don't think it'd be hard to find somebody, more articulate than Michele Tafoya. She certainly knows how to speak in front of a camera, and
for sure,
she clearly knows herself well and what she believes in. Quite frankly, I'll take that. I mean, she's a very successful person, and you compare that to Peggy Flanagan, who has never had a job in the private sector. I think that's one of the problems we have, particularly in Minnesota, is we have leaders. That goes for the governor as well. And so they don't understand how the private economy works. So I'll take her resume any day over Peggy Flanagan, who has never.
Well, I know a lot of people who worked in TV stations. I don't know that that's a positive factor, Andy.
Well, that's maybe you're right. I'm a lawyer, so that wouldn't help me either.
That's true. No, I know. We used to send all the lawyers to DC. That's not in vogue anymore. That's for sure. Andy Brehm.
No, we're unpopular. So.
When you look at issues, obviously fraud is an issue. I think for a Senate race, fraud will be an issue. It's probably not going to be I don't know. We'll see. There is some federal role maybe in oversight or providing funding or figuring out better ways to prevent fraud. But do you expect, what do you think will be the main issues when it becomes to, we really get the Tafoya Flanagan battle?
Mm-hmm. I mean, this might sound corny, but honestly, I just think people want to see the state work better. And so fraud is obviously a huge part of that. It's obviously an indicator that our state government is not working well at all. But we see it, across the board. We're paying way too high a taxes. Our schools aren't working. It's just state government, local government isn't working well. So I think all that comes together, and it just seems to be a consensus that people that are used to Minnesota kind of being at the top of the heap in so many different areas, we've really come down a notch. So, is fraud going to be an issue? Absolutely, it should be. I mean, people are disgusted by it, and we can justify our high taxes here by saying, okay, well, maybe there's some return on investment. But exactly right. When our tax dollars are when it's going to fraud, you certainly can't justify that. They belong on at your home versus in a fraudster's pocket.
Well, and we don't have the results in schools that we used to. We don't. I mean, a lot of the things where you would say, as you're saying, like we were. Yeah, I'll pay higher taxes if it's going to work. But if it's not working, then you start to ask questions about it for sure. I do think Republicans, the math in this state is still difficult, right? I mean, and you saw it in primary turnout where you see Peggy Flanagan getting, 200,000 more votes than Lisa Dameth got in a, obviously two different races, but both very competitive races. Do you read too much into that primary turnout, or do you think the general will be a different deal?
Listen, I think Democrats are going to come out. I mean, Peggy Flanagan excites a certain segment of the far left portion of the electorate. I give her that. I mean, she is a genuine far left liberal, and she doesn't hide from that, which in some ways I respect. But I think she's going to have an equal factor in getting people out that say, hey, that's just not me. Those aren't my values. And I don't want that representing me in the United States Senate. So it's nothing personal against Peggy Flanagan. I think she means well. I've met her. Actually, she's very pleasant, but she is a really hardcore liberal. And again, a lot of people came out to support her, and I get why, but I don't think that makes up a majority electorate in the state.
Well, Andy, we wanted to have you on just because this was such a fascinating Republican race this year to have Lisa Dameth beat the guy the president endorsed, the guy the party endorsed.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
It's a big deal, and it does make you, for me, look, I just vote the show. I mean, having two competitive races with four really good candidates, two good, you got really four accomplished women at the top of both of these tickets. Cool. Like, let's have it out and let's talk about what we think the future should be like. I think it's great.
Amen. So yeah, good. It's good for everybody, and
Yes.
I'm very optimistic. I think these are winnable races. I really do. I don't think Amy Klobuchar is a foregone conclusion. People want to see change, but we'll see. It's going to be tight, and it'll be interesting to watch. And like I said, I think it'll be very healthy for our state that needs some political competition.
Andy, thank you. You can read Andy Brehm's piece at the Minnesota Star Tribune, startribune.com, one of the contributing columnists. We appreciate having Andy on. 5:20, we're going to break. Field of Dreams game tonight in Iowa. We're just about 40 minutes away from pregame. We wanted to ask you what your favorite baseball movie is. Is it Field of Dreams? What's the best baseball movie of all time? 651-461-9226. Drive time back in a minute.
Drive time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Levi is a 7-year member of LiUNA Local 563.
I'm proud to be a part of LiUNA, the Skilled Construction Laborers Union, earning good union wages and benefits for the work that I do. I'm one of the workers in the work zone as we repair and improve our most important infrastructure like roads, bridges, and city streets. Please slow down when you see orange cones and yellow vests. We're building a better Minnesota.
For career opportunities, visit buildthenorth.com. And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Your mortgage is probably your biggest bill each month. Imagine having to pay it twice. It can happen if you buy a new home before you sell your current one. You need a real estate agent who knows how to find buyers fast. My friends from the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty, know how to get the job done. Nate and Keisha were worried after their house sat on the market for more than half a year with a different agent. They had bought a new home before their previous one sold, and they felt stuck. They've been hearing me tell you about the Good Neighbor agent and knew they had to call John themselves. John's marketing system reaches thousands of potential home buyers every day. It helps him routinely sell houses fast and for the most money possible. John's marketing system found them a buyer in just a week. It sold for full asking price. They were so happy. Curious what your home is worth? Just type in your address, johnschustergroup.com.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. JohnSchusterGroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply.
Every year, summer ends and the kids go back to school. This year, I'm going back too at My Computer Career. They helped me get financial aid, and I got to choose online or on-campus classes that fit my needs. Now I'm on a fast track to a high-demand IT career where the rewards can finally match my value. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu. It's never too late to go back to school.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
On BritBox, your next hidden gem is right around the corner.
If you're going to be bold, here is the place to do it.
Get ready for Britain's most anticipated series, streaming exclusively on BritBox. Catch new seasons of favourites, including Ludwig, starring David Mitchell.
You want someone to get murdered?
And the eagerly awaited new adaptation of Agatha Christie's iconic detective duo, Tommy and Tuppence.
Do you think we're actually really good at this?
Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Watch with a free trial.
Pros, find the right flooring for the job in Lowe's newly redesigned flooring showroom. Shop our expanded assortment of trusted brands and get up to 35% off style selections, Stainmaster, and Stainmaster Pet Protect Special Order Carpet. And while you're here, save $100 on the DeWalt 20-volt max 6-amp-hour 2-pack of batteries, now just $179. Get more of what you need faster and save more where it counts from the ground up. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 8/26 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Back to school starts now.
Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Drive Time with DeRusha.
Weird. It was startling. It's a little scary.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hey, Dad? You want to have a catch? I'd like that.
Oh, come on. Pretty good Field of Dreams game happening in Iowa. Minnesota Twins playing tonight. It got us thinking about baseball movies. Baseball is the sport of like the Stanford people, you know? Like nerds love baseball because there's so much data. There's always been a like George Will, Chris Atterbury type. I mean that with love to Atterbury,
Sure you do.
but you know, like he's a smart dude.
Yes, he is.
And I think there's something about the combination of like how patriotic baseball sort of makes you feel. It's the statistical analysis. It's the slow pace that lets you analyze little things.
It's the James Earl Jones monologue from Field of Dreams, right? Talking about how baseball is basically flowed along with American history.
Yeah.
And how the development of baseball has, again, mirrored and gone along with American history, where you can start over and become something completely new, like the American dream says we all can. It's the pace of it that you talk about. That's what appeals to me.
Yeah.
There's not a clock to run out. You can think about it. You can strategize. You can, every pitch matters. It just, to me, it's the best sport. It's not even close. And to see it celebrated in a way like this tonight is just so cool. If you haven't seen one of the previous Field of Dream games and you have at Netflix, tune into this, because just the scene of these players walking out of that cornfield is going to be goosebumps on my arms 100% for the rest of the night.
Best baseball movies, 651-461-9226.
That being said,
Field of Dreams is not
the best.
It's not my number.
It's a great movie, but it wouldn't be my favorite baseball movie.
Andrew says Moneyball.
Also a good movie.
Moneyball's a good movie.
Solid movie. Not my favorite baseball movie.
Baseball is a key component to Moneyball.
Yes.
I guess I don't always think about that as a baseball movie. Obviously, it is.
It is, but I understand what you're saying, because it's really more about. Well, that's every baseball movie isn't so much about baseball. It's about something else, right? And in Moneyball, it's about trying to change an industry or trying to change a system,
right?
And watching the system clap back at you.
It does love. There is love for baseball in that movie.
Absolutely.
I think
100%.
So it's not just. It's that combination of. It is sort of maybe it's the perfect movie of this era of baseball, right? Where you still have love, you still have the romance in the game, but it's data.
Do you have a pick?
I think it's Bull Durham.
I knew I should have gone first. No, 100% it's Bull Durham. 100% it's Bull Durham.
It's
Chris Stubbs says Major League. Also a very fun movie.
Major League is fun.
Also very great comedy, very fun movie.
My second is A League of Their Own.
Okay, see that then we can divide, because my second is The Natural.
Oh, The Natural, very good.
I think the greatest baseball scene ever filmed is Robert Redford hitting the home run, busting up the lights with that song that everybody wants to play, and everybody imagines themselves rounding the bases.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
Couple texters saying Sandlot. Sharon from Farmington says Sandlot. 612er says Sandlot.
I know a lot of people that swear by that movie.
1993. So it's right in the wheelhouse of a certain generation, right?
It wasn't.
These are my people.
I think the people that love Sandlot are the same kind of people that love Bad News Bears.
Yeah, it's a little too like corny.
Kinda, yeah. It just wasn't my thing.
A lot of text for Sandlot. Major League, says Tom.
Yeah, that's what Chris voted for.
Yeah.
The original, the sequels, not so much, but the original, excellent film.
The Rookie.
What made Major League, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm completely blanking on the name. Harry Dunn was the character. Bob Uecker. Good Lord, how could I not come up with Bob Uecker? Bob Uecker made was phenomenal in that movie. So good.
8 Men Out.
Another very good movie.
For the Love of the Game.
So that's Costner as the aging veteran throws the one last perfect game in Yankee Stadium. That film had moments, but Bull Durham to me far exceeds that one.
What else do we have here? A lot of the Sandlot, a lot of the Natural. I mean, the quotes, some of the quotes, right? Like League of Their Own.
Very quotable film. There's no crying in
baseball.
Tom Hanks, again.
That is persevered.
100% made that film.
Yeah. And the Sandlot also very quotable.
The best, like I said, the best baseball
You're killing me,
scene,
Smalls, right?
Yep, the best baseball scene for me is in The Natural, Robert Redford hitting the home run. The best baseball monologue. If you ever want to fall in love and see the romantic side of baseball, it's James Earl Jones in Field of Dreams. That whole bit, Oh, They'll Come, Ray. I mean, just phenomenal. Phenomenal work by him.
Fun. Tonight'll be fun. The game first pitch is at 6:30.
Pregame starts at 6 here on CCO. 6:30 is your first pitch. If you're like me and you're going to be getting home after first pitch, remember with Netflix, you can rewind and start from the beginning.
There is that. And if you don't have Netflix, you do have WCCO
Radio.
And on the Odyssey app, proud to be the home of the Twins.
100%.
I think they'll tap into the romance on the radio. Listening
100%.
to it on the radio should be pretty cool.
I know our friend Andrew Halverson is down there with him. He's the guy behind Twins TV and Twins Radio. Most people don't know that name, but trust me, if you like what you ever see on the radio or on Twins TV, Andrew Halverson's probably behind it. And he's going to be down there, working with him. I absolutely look forward to hearing this broadcast tonight because it should be phenomenal.
All right, keep it here on CCO. That pregame is coming at you in just about a half hour. When we come back, I want to ask you, because I spent the night in Rochester and got so many comments from you telling me where to go, what I should see, where I should visit. I mean, I'm talking more than 300 comments on social media. I don't even know if there are 300 spots to go in Rochester, but it is amazing. And it got me thinking about the best Minnesota cities outside of Minneapolis and St. Paul and why and where should I go? So give me a city and give me a place I should visit. 651-461-9226. Drive time back in a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Dollar General.
Wells Fargo is embracing the blockchain as it begins offering tokenized deposits to its corporate and commercial customers. San Francisco-based Wells Fargo says the tokenized deposits will allow customers to move, program, and settle funds 24/7, and the blockchain will be integrated into Wells Fargo's existing system, so those customers will remain within the bank's regulated insured system. I'm Jason Brooks.
Back to school season is here, and Dollar General has everything you need to start the school year strong. Don't forget to grab a pair of bright yellow sunglasses from the Yellow Glasses Project for just $2. Every purchase makes a difference, with 100% of proceeds helping support teachers, classrooms, and nonprofit organizations working to improve reading and literacy skills across the country. Stop by Dollar General today and shine bright with the Yellow Glasses Project, available now at Dollar General. The Yellow Glasses Project is a program of the Dollar General Literacy Foundation.
I was just talking to my friends at Tureen Dermatology today. It's Jason for the Tureen team. I want you to take care of your skin. We are getting close to the end of summer. Not nearing, I don't want to end it. But you've been spending time outside in the sun. Have you been wearing sunscreen? Have you been wearing a hat? Dr. Mohiba Tureen wants to make sure that if you got a problem with your skin, maybe you got a discoloration or a mark or a mole that's changed shape, changed size, get in and get it checked out. Don't be a hero. Don't be like me, like a lot of guys where you're like, I'm going to wait it out. It'll be fine. Go get the check. Tureen Dermatology does full body skin checkups. I go once a year because my dad had a bunch of skin cancerous growths removed. And I don't want to risk it. Do you? 12 locations all over the Twin Cities. Tureen Dermatology. One of the things I love is they'll get you in within 3 weeks. New visitors at TureenDermatology.com. You can request your appointment right there. And boom, one website, schedule that appointment, get it taken care of. Whatever your skincare concern is, eczema, acne, on and on. Hair loss, it is Hair Loss Awareness Month. They can help you with that too. See my team, the Tureen team, TAREEN, dermatology.com.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 218-210-0674 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. Call 218-210-0674 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 218-210-0674 for fast, easy, and affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 218-210-0674.
Let's make this summer your best summer ever. Jason here for Luther Kia of Bloomington, and Luther Kia Bloomington wants to upgrade your ride. Outstanding prices. $399 a month. Sign and drive lease offers on Seltos, Sportage, Nero, and K5. Get out of here. Plus $750 owner loyalty cash on the stunning Kia Telluride and the Telluride Hybrid. Best cars for the money on the market. Check out their brand new facility, now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Highway 52 northbound still closed at Plato Boulevard because of an injury crash. Could be another hour or so before things will reopen. In the meantime, get ready for the closure to be in place for another hour or so. If you're going to be traveling northbound 35E, got some slowdowns there as you come up from Highway 13 towards Shepherd Road. Over on the west side, North 169 slowing as you move past 394. Jerry Peterson, News Talk ATO, WCCO.
Washburn-McCreevy invites you to a free seminar for pre-planning your funeral and cremation services to help protect your family in the future. Enjoy food. Visit with speakers from the New Brighton Chapel Thursday, August 20th, 11:30 a.m. at the Exchange. For information, go to washburnmccreevy.com or 612-377-7841.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
CCO forecast thanks to Washburn-McCreevy Funeral, Cremation, and Pre-Planning Services. We love Bill McCreevy, appreciate his support. Here is Chris Schaefer.
We stay dry. Showers will be moving in overnight as we fall back to 70. Most of the heavier rain will fall across southern Minnesota. That will linger into the morning. Mostly cloudy the rest of the day tomorrow with a high up around 85. Dry on Friday, high around 83. It looks like the rain's going to hold off until late. That will spill into Saturday with scattered showers possible. Sunday, the nicer weekend day, partly cloudy and 80.
Looks cloudy, feels humid, but I'm not seeing any rain on the metro radar. Well, a little bit in the Coon Rapids, Fridley area, but a lot of this hasn't been hitting the ground on CCO.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I can feel something heavy on my heart. I can feel something's tearing me apart. I can feel that you got me through the dark. I can feel the love tonight. Oh, I can feel.
I spent, Dan, how long was I in Rochester? From 8 p.m. until noon today? What is that? That's 16 hours?
Correct.
All right. You know math. I'm not that good at it.
I know, but you nailed that one.
Thank you. 16 hours in Rochester. And I kind of want to go back. Rochester, I think most people think of Rochester. When you think Rochester, what do you think, Dan?
Mayo Clinic.
Mayo Clinic. That's it. And I'll tell you, when I was checking out of my hotel this morning, it is a little bit like The Walking Wounded. You know what I'm saying? Like a lady in front of me has got like her wrist wrapped up. It's a company town.
I thought you meant you were feeling the effects of the night before.
Well, that may be the case. But you get a real sense that people are there either because they're medical professionals or they're there to see medical professionals. But Rochester had like a lot of cool stuff going on. And today they have like outside of Mayo Clinic, like I think it's every Thursday, they close off like a bunch of streets and they had live music on 2 stages over the lunch hour, probably 24 restaurants with booths and all these like vendors and artisans and artists and stuff. And I'm like, Rochester, like kind of cool. It had a cool vibe going. And it got me thinking that I wanted to ask you guys about your favorite city, your favorite Minnesota city. Now, we got to pull Minneapolis and St. Paul out, right? That's sort of cheating. But when you think about the city area, what are the cool cities? What is your favorite city? 651-461-9226. Texter says Lanesboro. I've never been to Lanesboro. But Lanesboro, I feel like that is like a big sort of resorty area, isn't it? Have you ever been to Lanesboro? It's kind of bluff country. I'm looking at some pictures. Lanesboro looks pretty cool. Yeah, I've never been to Lanesboro. Texter was Jason at Kathy's Pub on Broadway in Rochester. I was not. I did go by that. Another texter, you know nothing about Rochester from just a half day. You're a big talker today. What a absolutely wild text, right? Like,
because you opened the segment by saying, I know everything there is to know about Rochester, and you people are all idiots. That's what you said. Oh, wait, no, you didn't say anything like that. Good Lord.
Are people just mad all the time? You just want to be pissed about something?
There's a group of people out there that are.
How dare you, DeRusha?
And they love to comment on our show.
I don't know. I don't know jack about Rochester. I've been there for 16 hours. I said it seemed kind of cool. Well, what are you doing? There's a lot of jibber jabbering about Rochester out of you, ding dong. What do you know? I am so sorry for liking Rochester.
Is that the deal now? People are going to gatekeep Rochester?
I don't know. Like most people probably go to Rochester just, and to be honest, I told a friend that I was going to Rochester and I felt like I immediately had to say like, I'm okay. Right? Like if you're not from Rochester and you say, I'm going down to Rochester, people assume, oh, you're going to see the doctor. I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'd like to send some of these texters to the doctor. I'll tell you that much. The person who said I know nothing said I lived there for 2 years. It was a mean city when I was there. Well, you only lived there for 2 years. What the hell do you know, buddy boy? Huh? Just kidding. Maybe it is a mean city. I don't know. I didn't talk to everybody. Stillwater, says a texter. Stillwater is generally my number one. I love Stillwater. Alyssa and I, the last time we were there, we were talking about, like, could we see ourselves retiring in Stillwater? And she was like, no. And I was like, yes. I like it. Hayward, Wisconsin, says a texter. Muskie Fest last week in June. I like Hayward. I've been to Hayward before.
Yeah, Hayward's great. But I think the reigning champion when it comes to non-metro area Minnesota cities.
Yeah.
Has to be Duluth.
Mm.
And I'm a bit even hesitant to say that, not because I don't like Duluth. Duluth is phenomenal. But you do know how I hate to agree with the noon to 3 host.
I know. Chad loves Duluth.
And he's a big Duluth guy. And I hate to say it, but Chad's right.
Do you think he really likes Duluth, or is this just like...
He likes people to think that he likes Duluth?
Yeah, like to a certain degree, Chad wants to be seen as like an everyman. And like his favorite city is probably Palm Springs, California, right?
Well, that's not a Minnesota city. Sort of falls outside the purview of this particular segment.
I mean, his favorite Minnesota city is Golden Valley. And
that's what he likes to say. That one I think is performative.
That's a lie.
I think his favorite Minnesota city is Bloomington because that's where the airport is and he can get out of here.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Why do you sound surprised?
I'm just enjoying the comedy. I mean, your choices are basically like, if you think of cities, how many Minnesota, like, I'm not talking towns. You know what I mean? Because you could go with the like, well, I like Brainerd, the Brainerd Lakes area. You're like, does anybody really like Brainerd? No. You like Gull Lake. You know what I mean?
Like the area around.
You like the area.
Yeah.
Moorhead? You never hear anybody say more. You know what outside the metro, you know what the best city is? Moorhead. It's because Fargo is cooler than Moorhead.
If you're going for smaller like towns,
yeah.
Nisswa's pretty awesome.
Oh, Nisswa's pretty good. Yep. Great 2-block little main downtown area. I mean, our options are limited, right?
In terms of sizable cities, yeah. I mean, you have basically the 4.
Rochester, Duluth, Mankato. How would you rank it? Duluth, Rochester, Mankato, Moorhead. Am I missing anything?
St. Cloud.
Oh, St. Cloud. I would say
Duluth 1, Rochester 2. Everybody else.
I mean, Bloomington to me is too
That's
like
metro-y.
metro,
Yeah, no,
right?
you can't
like,
count that.
Because when you look at population,
you do have to get down to Mankato before you're.
Rochester has 125,000 residents, and then we get real small. Like Duluth is 88,000. St. Cloud is 72,000. And then Moorhead is 46,000. Mankato is about the same. They're pretty small, right? Like, and then like, I don't know. It's all metro. Austin. What about Austin? Spam Museum?
I'll be honest with you, I've never been to Austin.
So here's the thing about going to Austin. Population 26,689. When you go to Austin, you're going to go to the Spam Museum.
I mean, you have to.
When you go...
I don't think they let you leave until you've been through there.
When you go to the Spam Museum, you're going to be left wondering, why did I drive to Austin to go to the Spam Museum? I'm just saying. Detroit Lakes. New Ulm. New Ulm is a good choice. New Ulm is maybe an underrated city. Have you ever been to New Ulm?
I've not been to New Ulm.
Alexandria. Alexandria is nice. I just was in Alexandria. I was there
Okay, but like when you say Detroit Lakes and Alexandria and stuff like that, is that the similar kind of thing we were just talking about? Where do you like those towns or do you like the areas around those towns?
It's a fair point. Alexandria itself is a population of 15,000. Yes. I drove through Alexandria, not that much. Not that great. Yeah, you like the lakes.
Yeah.
In that
a lot of great stuff around there. Great place to go.
Red Wing.
To go around there.
I would put Red Wing.
Okay, sure. Red Wing. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good call. Good call.
I think
Now you're.
Well, maybe this is a different segment, but like most underrated cities in Minnesota, Red Wing is, I feel, maybe the most underrated city. I don't know. Keep the text coming. Lots of good. You guys are making me think. It's good. 651-461-9226. Drive time back in just a minute.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
The Canopy Group would love to hear from you. It's Jason. The Canopy Group, great Minnesota company. They do things differently, and that's what I like about them. I love how they give back. Very generous. They've helped us out many years with our Kick Hunger, End Hunger Radiothon. The Canopy Group does insurance differently because does the old way, the current way, the way most of us do it, does it make any sense? I don't know. One insurance agent, one company, no choices. You just hope for the best. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. The Canopy Group has 16 companies, so you call one number or visit one website, and they run your personal zip code, your home, age, your car, your family situation. They run it through 16 different companies, so you're getting one-stop, full comparison shopping. They'll get you the best coverage for the best price. If you have it already, they'll tell you you're already good. But there's no obligation, so what are you waiting for? 800-967-3389. Easiest way to get a quote is online, thecanopygroup.com.
You have 47 tabs open. One about the weather. One about the upcoming election. One about that restaurant opening in St. Paul. And one you opened 3 weeks ago and have no idea why. We have a suggestion. Close the tabs and get caught up on everything you need to know, all in one place. News Talk 830-WCCO.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Chanhassen Dinner Theaters brings you the goods with the hit of the summer, Guys and Dolls. You got your delicious dinner. You got your great show. Heck, you got free parking. Such a deal. Guys and Dolls, it's hilarious, romantic, hit tunes like Luck Be a Lady and Sit Down, You're Rockin' the Boat. This is the high-rolling hit musical for the whole family, and it's your lucky day because I'm going to tell you how to score these tickets. Visit chanhassendt.com and you will hit the jackpot.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
Hi, I'm Mike Bryant. If you've ever been injured in a collision, choosing the right attorney may be one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. But how do you know who to trust? That's exactly why we created our new website. It's filled with helpful information designed to answer your questions before you ever pick up the phone. I especially invite you to visit our Why Choose Bradshaw and Bryant page. It explains our experience, our commitment to our clients, and why certified trial lawyers can make a difference. Visit MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. That's MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. I sincerely hope you're never in a collision, but if you are, call us first.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com.
Confidence and pride, working harder, going farther, with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
The best time to recommit to your gut health goals? Right now. Take charge of your gut with Nature Made. Our clinically studied ingredients support digestive health. Digestive enzymes break down nutrients. Probiotic and prebiotic fiber nourish good gut bacteria. And super greens with probiotics empower daily digestive health. Try the full lineup of gut health support from Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hey, it's Jen Hatmaker. Here's what I've learned in midlife. Joy isn't the reward you earn after all the work is done. Joy is the work. That's what this new series on For the Love is all about. The sacred yes. It's choosing delight, rest, and pleasure on purpose. Because saying yes to yourself, that's the thing that finally lets you fill your table with everybody else. Come find your sacred yes with me. Follow and listen to For the Love wherever you get your podcasts.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by Laguna, Minnesota. Visit buildthenorth.com. North 52 still closed at Plato Boulevard. Injury crash in the process of being cleared out of the way. It could be another hour or better before things are reopened. The traffic is using ramps to and from Plato Boulevard to work its way around it. Expect a jam up southbound with a Cocker slowdown coming down from 94. Laguna, Minnesota reminds you to slow down in construction zones. Members of Laguna and their union contractors are building better infrastructure for you, so please slow down and pay attention to the road signs when you see orange and yellow. Brought to you by Laguna, Minnesota. Visit buildthenorth.com. Sherry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hungry? Go to Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan for real Texas barbecue. All meats smoked fresh in-house daily. You can dine in, take out, have it delivered, or have your event catered anywhere in the metro. Just go to Dickeys.com. Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Cloudy. There have been little bursts of rain. We got reports of a lot of rain in Coon Rapids from one of our great listeners who texted in on that. So be ready for that tonight. Low of 67. Tomorrow, isolated showers late, 84. Saturday, scattered showers early and late. So it's going to be one of those, like, have the umbrella with you. Right now, it is 78 on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
Fundamentally, a non-traditional approach to talking about, learning about, and exploring the day's news.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball. America has rolled by like an army of steamrollers. It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again. But baseball has marked the time.
Pre-game from Dyersville, Iowa, starting in just a couple minutes here on CCO. Should be really fun. First pitch at 6:30. The pre-game is the drama. The game is just going to be the game. Lots of great texts about your favorite cities. Alexandria, nothing more than a speed trap on 94. Moorhead, then a joke that I'm not going to say on the radio, but it's very funny. What about Farmington? Farmington, good call. Fairmont, Minnesota, 5 lakes all connected there. Texter says Rochester for a favorite non-metro city. We had to pivot one year for a family vacation, ended up there because we hadn't explored it previously. It was great. We went to a Honkers game, visited Niagara Cave, Forestville State Park. People were surprised that we weren't there for medical reasons. It's exactly it. Like, I visited a bakery, Seto, S-E-T-O, and was it good? Egyptian bakery. They had all sorts of Mediterranean pastries, so good. And they were like, yeah, we get a lot of recommendations where doctors send their patients to come and visit. If you live in the South Metro, it's only an hour to get down there. From here, it took me 90 minutes. Anyway, pretty fun as we get close to State Fair. If you got a free weekend, why not? Go explore one of these cool cities around the state. Continental Diamond time check. It's 5:57. ContinentalDiamond.com. They've got all the pre-owned luxury watches they have in stock. You can see them all on the website. And then you're going to want to go to the store and try them on. Great people over there. ContinentalDiamond.com. Video. Our whole show is streaming. You can find segments, including our interview with Peggy Flanagan and our interview with Lisa Damath. All of that available at YouTube, but also wherever you get podcasts. So go check that out. Subscribe to the podcast. We'd appreciate that. Our bosses really want more podcast downloads, so do your best. Help out. Help Dan and me. Help you. I don't know how it helps you, but it would help us. Pre-game, let's get a Twins win. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
You know the feeling when your body is tired, but your brain just